Whew. What's going on, everybody? Obviously, my name is Strider, and we are theory crafting today.
Goods and trade store.
Nope, God, why? Every time. Every time I go to my chat. There we go, okay. Every time. Doing that too. Trying to. Oh, dismiss. I'm trying to do any of that. Now we won't go. Game title. Tags. Do. Freddy. Five Nights. Fazbear. Theory. Crafting. Fun. Funny. Weird. Dude. Stuff. Birds. PC. All that good. While we're here, actually. Check something we're doing on. Very. Back to it. Ooh. Flip the stream. Hold on. Hey, what's going on, guys? Excuse me. What are we doing today? Blaz, what's up? We are doing something different than we were doing the last few days. I wanted to take a break from the game and wanted to work on theories. Why can I hear myself? I don't. Quiet, you, aka me. I had to go there long enough to pop out my chat because for some reason Slobs doesn't always like to tell me that you guys are chatting in the chat. What up, Cassidy? What up, Beanie? What up, Blaz? We are working on theory crafting, doing some theory crafting, theories, timeline stuff. So I really just want to make a list of just crazy theory ideas I have. Anything that you guys may have had that you guys are interested in taking a look at some point. Maybe I'll dig into the theories and stuff. So for one, here's a theory that I have. Henry's family ran Fall Fest. I think this is a solid thought. Ran Fall Fest, right? That's one. I'm gonna take that. Let's bold it, italicize it, maybe underline it. Boom. That's a full theory concept to itself, right? My theory is inside the FNAF 4 box is the FNAF thank you image. Really? Yeah, hold on, let's keep all this stuff for each of these before we go into further stuff. Let me add that. Hold on, this is a beanie one. So FNAF 4 box has FNAF thank you new message inside. Boom, and that's going to be contributed by Beanie Freddy. Boom, there you go. Beanie Freddy, you're in the list. This one's going to be literally mine. But I'm going to put my name on it like that. Let's see. More that I have. Here we go. Here's my favorite. Vengeful Spirit is Sammy. Please. Charlie's win. And then, so what I'm gonna do with this, all this is first I gotta go and boop. Yeah, I'll do that one time. Win. Then EI. And then put Strider again. And then what we do with that is we then move underneath it and we throw this here like this. And then we do stuff like FNAF for mini games, brown hair in Golden Freddy, books allude to twin brother, to Charlie not previously in games. FNAF 6. Henry says wound first inflicted on him. Charlie is considered last death of 7 kid events. Boom. See, like that. So that's how we do that. If there is more evidence that I can give to this one, then I will add another bullet point to it to do it. Henry's family ran Fall Fest. You know, and then that one can be like explains Henry's oh, come on. Yeah, turn off all the things first. Hold on. BFU explains Henry's love of engineering. Where characters came from. Gotta go. All right, Cassidy, have a good night, man. Appreciate you showing up. I'll see you when you come back, or tomorrow, or whatever it is. Like I said, not playing the game today. We are going to continue playing it tomorrow. I just felt like doing some of this again, getting back to what we were doing like last week and stuff. Talking about a lot of this stuff. So this one, and this is what I want to do today. So if anyone else has other theories that they like and they want to throw down to add to the list, if it's something, especially if it's something that you feel like you have evidence to, or we can look at some evidence to, I want to do it. Also, let me know volumes, guys. If the music seems to be overpowering me, let me know. Where characters came from. Back is killing me. Ooh, another theory of mine is William made Chica's party world had mediocres. Had mediocre. Evidence that I have for that is, oh wait, hold on, nope, undo that. Evidence for this one's a little bit more, the evidence for this one is a little bit more broader. I don't think it just kind of fits, is essentially what it is. It kind of fits. Like, you think about it this way. If you think about the fact that, okay, the first off, I have so many of these. Hold on. Grammar. I'm gonna turn off Grammarly. Yeah, just turn it off. I want to unlock premium. I just want to turn you off. Let me do that. There we go. Turn off Grammarly for yes. There we go. Okay. Anyways, what would happen if the theory that was put there was right? We just get happy about it. we're just happy, especially if it's a theory that no one else has done yet, and we put it on the page. I'm gonna say this much: I'm trying to work up. So this is the problem. Like I'm very busy, but I'm thinking about, and you guys again would be involved in kind of the process for this somewhat, because anything and everything I do video wise would have to be done while live stream. So if I was to decide to make like videos on some of the theories that we have, then I would have to do those on live stream, edit them on live stream, and all that good stuff. So you guys would see that whole process happen. And you guys would be able to help me with it, or tell me if I'm right, or you know, tell me how you felt it went and stuff like that. I'd be like, well, let's record a portion of it, and then like I would pull the live stream later and edit that portion down, so to put it into a video or whatnot, because I don't have time outside of live streaming and working to really put a video together without being like, let me just take a bunch of time away from the family. So alternatively, I would just make it while we're streaming, you know. Anyways, William A. Chica's Party World had the mediocre melodies. Let's see. Better explains William's jealousy. Better explains William's jealousy. Ned Bear makes more sense. Ned Bear does. See, that's the thing, is like the way William is described versus the way Henry is described, it would make more sense. And this is just my feelings on it more than anything else, but it would make more sense for William to have produced the mediocre melodies and made the nearly copyright infringing Ned Bear in order to capitalize on Henry's success versus the opposite way around. I know we want to list William as creating Bonnie, and in doing the act of having him create Bonnie, he essentially has to also be the creator of Freddy. But what if that's not the case? I know that rabbits is kind of like his calling card now, but what if that was because he wanted to take a character that was dear to Henry and twist it to hurt him? Or what if, I don't know, like that's what makes the most sense to me, I think, in a lot of ways, is that Henry would have been the creator of Freddy and Bonnie, the gold suit versions of them, the springlock suit versions of them, and that William created Bonnie as his serial killer calling card to either to do actually twofold. Actually, it's really smart. Actually, now that that's actually really smart. Like, what if when he first started doing things, he did it because not only one would it hurt Henry more to have one of Henry's own creations be the to be the catalyst, the vehicle that William uses to commit these horrific acts. On top of everything, it also leads everyone even more so in believing that it was Henry and not William that performed the acts, because they're Henry's suits. They're Henry's creations. They're not William's creation. So William dons the Golden Bonnie suit as like a two-pronged attempt to initiate his act. He's both hurting Henry in two different ways at the same time. And that's like, and that goes with one of Henry. Hold on, let me get the lines from FNAF 6. Hold on. Actually, we'll go here. Lo-fi chill. We're gonna have to mute you for a second. Pull this up actually. Hold on. Oh, it's over here with. Okay. Anyways, FNAF 6 Henry Beach. Oh, Nights at Freddy's ending cutscene, Henry's speech. Yeah, so let's just do this. Yeah.
Into our hands. Did you really think that this job just fell out of the sky for you? No. This was a gift for us. You gathered them all together in one place, just like he asked you to.
Yep.
All of those little souls in one place, just for us. A gift.
Yeah.
Now we can do what we were created to do and be complete. I will make you proud, Daddy. Watch, listen, and be full.
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still even remember that name, but I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual.
Someone remade this. I like it.
You have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of sounds and smells, misdirection and misfortune. A labyrinth with no exit, a maze with no prize. You don't even realize that you are trapped. Your lust for blood has driven you in endless circles, chasing the cries of children in some unseen chamber, always seeming so near.
I love that shot.
But you will never find them. None of you will. This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you. Although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. I am remaining as well. I am nearby. This place will not be remembered, and the memory of everything that started this can finally begin to fade away, as the agony of every tragedy should. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still, and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears.
Yeah, wait.
Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep
What up, nothing? How we doing?
Friend. My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent. I'm sorry that on that day, the day you were shut out and left to die, no one was there to lift you up into their arms the way you lifted others into yours. And then, what became of you? I should have known you wouldn't be content to disappear. Not my daughter. I couldn't save you then, so let me save you now. It's time to rest, for you, and for those you have carried in your arms. This ends
Hmm. That wasn't the line I was looking for. Oh, that William, you want to open a restaurant? Henry, no. End of story. I honestly think that this might actually be more of a representation to us that Henry didn't get everybody because Golden Freddy was nowhere around. Because Sammy and Sammy and Cassidy were not in FNAF 6. Henry 6. All Henry lines. All voice lines. Here we go.
Tape. Leaving Dead Space. 3, 2, 1. The purpose of this tape is to test automated response times and reactions from vintage interactive attractions following audio stimuli. If you are playing this tape, that means that not only have you been checking outside at the end of every shift, as you were instructed to do, but also that you have found something that meets the criteria of your special obligations under paragraph 4. Follow these instructions, document response times, then safely secure the space before leaving.
Wait.
Upon sealing the room, you are not to return. Begin audio prompt in 3, 2, 1.
English.
Document results. Begin audio prompt in 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Document results.
Oh my god, this one.
Begin tape.
Okay.
Leaving Dead Space. 3, 2, 1. The purpose of this tape is to test automated response times and reactions from vintage interactive attractions.
Want this one.
Isn't over.
These are also the Cassette Man voice lines, which is also Henry. Henry is Cassette Man.
Just yet. There is another aspect to your end-of-day routine, and that is inspecting and salvaging any animatronics found in the alley outside the back door. Things are found here quite often, and while we aren't sure why, for you is an animatronic found in the back alley.
Okay.
We are unsure of its
I'll need
origins.
this one.
It is your job to complete the main salvage. Well done. End tape. Congratulations on completing the week. Unfortunately, you did not meet your special obligations under paragraph 4. Your employment is terminated. We'll mail you your things. End tape. It's only now that I understand the depth of the depravity of this creature, this monster that I...
If you want to listen to the ending speech, you should listen to that. Oh, no, we just listened to that.
He found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy. As if the suffering wasn't enough. The loss of innocence, the loss of everything to so many people. Small souls trapped in prisons of my making.
See, so I watched crooked art videos before. Oh, nice. This guy's videos before. Nice. I'm gonna give it a like for. Okay, so this line right here, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create, as if what he had already done wasn't enough. He found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy. So this monster that I unwillingly helped to create, I wonder if I want to say that this is not not just referring to the fact that they were friends and they opened up the restaurant together. So obviously that assisted with William becoming what he did. But I think also because I 100% believe that Henry created Freddy and Bonnie, right? And William created Chica and Chica's Party World. I believe that Fredbear and Bonnie, Spring Bonnie, were both created by Henry, and that because it kind of makes sense. I mean, it makes sense in a way if you really think about it. In my opinion, it makes a lot of sense. William decides to use Bonnie as his calling card because it does. I mean, it's got a two-prong effect. One, he is using Henry's own and like Henry's own creation to do all this. So he's kind of, his jealousy and fueled serial killing. Glamrock Chica unused voice lines. At some point we might be for lore purposes, but right now I'm trying to do the William Afton Henry, why William Afton uses the Bonnie suit kind of thing, and like proof of it kind of situation. So I think Henry created those two characters, and William decided to use Bonnie because Bonnie is Henry's like personal creation, and it's his way of both one hurting Henry more by using Henry's own creation to perform these heinous acts, and two, really puts the trail onto Henry and off of William because it's William's creation, William's suit. I mean, not William's suit, Henry's suit that's being used. I wonder if Bonnie was like Henry's like first contribution to the gang back when his family ran the festival, the Fall Fest, the Fall Fest Carnival. That would also explain if Henry's family is the ones who ran Fall Fest, and he got to inherit the characters, or he was borrowing the characters from Fall Fest. It explains a lot of stuff. Might know what he is talking about, this monster. He is talking about the incident back in FNAF 4 when Fredbear bit the child's head. Is it possible that Henry was the creator of Fredbear? I think he created Fredbear. Wait, I thought William made the original idea of Golden Bonnie. I don't think he did. That's the thing. I think people just think that he did because of like Glitch Trap looking like a hand-sewn rabbit suit and all this other stuff. I don't think William did, though. I think William took the idea, or took the suit from Henry as like so this is my, hold on, let me pull it up. Here we go. So one of my other Henry's family ran Fall Fest where he made Chica's Party World in the Mediocres. So this is the thing is that it's always been like alluded to in the books, the games, whatever, that Henry was the engineer who created the better animatronics. Oh, you're writing your theories down now. Yeah. I decided to do that today. And other people's too. If you have theories that you would like to see us research with your help on stream, let me know and I'll write it down too. And I am putting people's credit next to their names. So Beanie Freddy gave us this one. The FNAF 4 box has a FNAF thank you message inside. I don't know how to prove that. If he's got a way to prove that, that's awesome. But I'll still write it down because you never know. But yeah, I'm just writing them all down so like we can go back to these, and I'm writing down what evidence points we can think of underneath them. So like Vengeful Spirit is Sammy, Charlie's twin. FNAF 4 minigame, Brown Hair and Golden Freddy. I always point to that that's a dead child, obviously, but it's not any of the ones that we already know about, so it's got to be Vengeful Spirit, and it would make a lot of sense for it to be Sammy. The books allude to Charlie having a twin brother who is not previously in the games anywhere that we know of. So again, it opens that spot up. And then in FNAF 6, Henry says, a wound first inflicted on him. Charlie is considered the last death of the 7-kid event. So he might be talking about daughter feeling guilty seeing his daughter becoming the puppet as he sees her as a monster. I don't think he sees her as a monster, though. But this monster I willingly helped to create. That I understand the depth of the depravity of this creature, this monster that I unwillingly helped to create. He's talking about William here. Yeah, as if what he had already done wasn't enough, he found a new way to desecrate, to humiliate, to destroy. As if the suffering wasn't enough, the loss of innocence, the loss of everything to so many people, small souls trapped in prisons of my making, now set to new purpose and used in ways I never thought imaginable. He lured them all back to a familiar place, back with familiar tricks. He brought them all together. Are they still aware? I hope not. Keeps me awake at night. I could make myself sleep, but not yet. And when he says sleep, he means, the old long nap there. Not until I undo what he has done and heal this wound. A wound first inflicted on me. That's the line right there. But then one that I let bleed out to cause all of this. So I think what he's talking about here, what I think is happening, I think it was Sammy. I think Sammy was the first kill, right? Sammy is the first kill, and it's the first wound inflicted on him. The reason that it's but then one that I let bleed out to cause all of this, because he didn't think it was William. He thought it was somebody else or something else. He thought it was somebody kidnapped Sammy from the restaurant and killed him outside of the restaurant. So in order to keep the kids safe in the restaurant, he created the puppet and he created these security measures. But all the security measures that he had was to stop kids from being abducted from the restaurant. He didn't have any security measures in place for anything happening within the restaurant. So when William Afton started murdering children inside of the restaurant and leaving their bodies inside the restaurant, they didn't have a security measure in place to stop such a situation from happening. So I think so he let it bleed out, he let it bleed out because he didn't do anything to stop the wound internally. But he led them here again. He overpowered them again, and he robbed them of the only thing that they had again. I don't know how those tiny breaths of life came to inhabit those machines, but they will never find rest now. Not like this. I have to call them all back, all of them, together in one place. So I think what that is referring to, he overpowered them again. But he led them here again. There again, he overpowered them again, and he robbed them of the only thing they had that they had again. So this is referring to FNAF 1 location is where those 4 murders happen. Party World is Fazbear's shameful attempt at trying to challenge William's rental service, because why else would there be a Funtime Chica in FNAF Pizzeria Simulator? So this is actually what I think. With that, I think Chica's Party World is older than we think. Okay? I think Chica's Party World is the pizzeria that William owned before Henry and William came together. I think William owned Chica's Party World and he paid another engineer, one that wasn't as good as Henry, right? So quick rundown of my current running timeline theory, right, is that Henry's family owns Fall Fest. They run Fall Fest. It featured characters such as Fredbear, Bonnie, and various other random characters like Jesters, a mushroom, and all these other weird characters. At some point, Henry grows older, and as Henry grows older, he wants to start a family and settle down, right? So he wants to start his own restaurant. Uzi Dorman 2, thank you for the follow, appreciate that. Over on the Twitch side of things, how's it going, man? How you doing, Uzi? But anyways, so he wants to settle down in one location instead of travel around all the time with Fall Fest with his family. As he's getting older, he wants to branch out. He's always been working on the machinery, like he's always been working around on all of the mechanical stuff. So he grew up being an engineer. He borrows a couple of the most popular characters from Fall Fest and asks if he can make his own versions for his restaurant. His parents give him the blessing. So he opens up Fredbear's Family Diner by himself in the late 70s, whatever. He runs it. It's doing pretty well. He goes from regular suits, right? Do you think the mimic is possessed? The mimic's not possessed. The mimic's just the mimic. But anyways, so he builds regular suits, and over time he puts that engineering to the test, right? And builds his spring lock animatronic suits for both Freddy and for Bonnie. Spring Bonnie, Spring Freddy, right? Golden Freddy, Golden Bonnie, whatever you want to call him. He's doing pretty damn good. After a few years, he's pretty successful. William Afton comes across the seas, he comes across the pond because he's coming to America to find his fortune, right? He comes in and he's either he already had the idea that he was going to open up his own restaurant, or he's bumming around trying to think of what he can do to make his fortune. He already has money from his family or whatever. That's not the point. The point is he's a very smart Englishman from a different country. He comes to America. He's bopping around trying to figure out what his idea is, or he already has it, whatever. He sees Fredbear's Family Diner, and he goes, hey, this guy has zero competition. I bet I could do this bigger and better, and be competition slash corner that market from him, or something like that. So he builds Chica's Party World, and he pays a local engineer who is not as good as Henry. Okay, in a FNAF VHS tape, it said when the suit is under construction, you have to wear it manually. FNAF VHS tape. Where is this FNAF hold on, I gotta ban this guy. Anyways, VHS tape, are these... Here's the thing. Is this a fan-made video, or is this a real video? In a FNAF VHS tape. Think drove William to commit murder. I think he's I think he's just a sociopath. I think he's just psychotic. And it's always been a thought in his head. Do you have proof for any of this, or is this just a theory? It's not. I think this is what they're moving towards, and it makes sense. But is it proof? No, there's no proof yet, because there's tiny bits of proof, or tiny bits of evidence that you could take as being proof, right? So, like, the fact that Chica's Party World is... So, for one, Chica's Party World. And I don't know how much you want to read into this. I like reading into it a little bit. But Chica's Party World, there's only been one other time when we saw a restaurant with the word world at the end of it. And that is Circus Baby's Pizza World, right? William eventually can build robots, but can he in the beginning? He can eventually, but can he in the beginning? And did he? Did he actually build the Fun Times? Because in the books, he stole Baby. So maybe he built the other Fun Times, but I think he steals Baby from Henry and then reverse engineers how it's built and builds the other ones, right? But hold on. So Chica's Party World, the only other time we see a restaurant, pizzeria, or whatever with the word world at the end of its name is Circus Baby's Party World, Pizza World. And world at the end of a restaurant does sound like something that someone from another country would use instead. They think more globally than the local guy, Henry. It would take a lot of expertise. Well, he did work with Henry for a few years, at least, so he could have learned engineering. He could have been an engineer himself. Fair enough. Being Afton's wife is a myth. I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. What do you think about the theory that Joy of Creation, Five Nights at Candy's, and Pop Goes exist in the same universe as FNAF? I think it could work in the multiverse, but I don't believe any of those games have any bearing on the actual continuity of the games. I think they could be a multiverse situation, but they are definitely not part of the actual game continuity. If you're going to do game theories on the Five Nights at Freddy's games, you can't use any of those games. You can't use any fan-made materials besides other people's theory crafting to build your theory off of. You can't use Death Quote's hint at it. He built her in her image. Yeah, I think Ballora was built by Afton to replicate his wife. But anyways, yeah, I think William either A, was an engineer himself, right, or he hired engineers. That's the other thing. You gotta remember, he had technicians and stuff for Circus Baby's rental, animatronic rentals, or whatever you want to call it. He had technicians. He had engineers. He could not be behind any of it. He could just be having other people build them, or he could have learned how to build animatronics as time went on. But he could have initially began as being the money guy who then learned how to do stuff from other people. The FNAF universe, who do you think is Mangle? I think Mangle is the first iteration of a female Foxy. That didn't go so well because I think what they did is they built a female Foxy and then used that Mangle, if Mangle is possessed by the dog of Susie. Because here's the thing, Mangle, I think, was the first toy animatronic made, right? Because Mangle wasn't around at the FNAF 2, like the FNAF 2 location wasn't open long enough for it to make sense that they would come up with but the dog died way before 1987. Yeah. Yeah, he could have been in Mangle this whole time. It's not like a dog's going to know how to possess things correctly. But that it's just here or there. But Toy Chica High School Years, I think High School Years is kind of hard to get a lot of information from. In all honesty. But anyways, so I think Mangle had to have existed at the FNAF 1 location before it moved to the FNAF 2 location. Mangle was two people who died into an accident and got transported to FNAF 2 place, but the accident is two men was playing with the endo and it glitched because two people could be possessed. I don't think so. And not Mr. Cupcake. Mr. Cupcake, the cupcake is not possessed. I think the cupcake is just a cupcake. Is just, you don't get possessed by an animatronic, you possess an animatronic, for one. But no, I don't think Mangle is possessed by two entities. I think if Mangle is anything, Mangle is the spirit of the dog. But it wouldn't properly be possessed by a dog, obviously, because a dog probably wouldn't be as capable of possessing something. But no, Mangle, I believe, is the first iteration of a female Foxy character that they probably were going to use as a babysitter for younger kids, like, obviously, because it's the 80s, so obviously they're going to be like, if someone's going to babysit kids, it's going to be a woman. Let's remember the 80s were pretty sexist. So they make a female version of Foxy to be the babysitter for the younger kids, and the younger kids just start taking it apart instead and putting it back together or whatnot. And so they rename it the Mangle. But they said it took so long, and eventually they just stopped putting it together and gave it the nickname Mangle. I don't think you're going to get to that point in less than 2 weeks. Well, in a week. So obviously Mangle had to have existed at a previous pizza place before it got there. Anyways, back to what I'm talking about. I think Chica's Party World was created by William as a competitor to Fredbear Family Diner. I think he decided to do everything bigger and better. So Fredbear Family Diner had two animatronics. William decided to have a whole slew of them. In comes Chica, the front man or woman, the front chick, and all of the other mediocre melodies. And these were invented by William Afton. There's an elephant, there's a hippo, there's a bear named Ned Bear, right? Sounds familiar. There's a frog, there's, all these animatronic characters, and they all have southern accents for some reason, even though 90% of them has nothing to do with the South. But what do people from the UK and other parts of Europe think Americans sound like? Especially in the 80s, the stereotype was all Americans sound like this. So when he built the animatronics, he gave them a southern accent. Because he thought Americans sounded like that, so give them all southern accents so they sound like the clientele that he is trying to reach, right? They were attacking us because they were going haywire due to murders. Yes, exactly. Anyways, I heard a theory after Baby Scoop, Elizabeth Baby pretends to be Elizabeth, and Elizabeth pretending. No, I think Baby is just Baby. Gets possessed. Can be possessed by two. In the recent game theory, it said the crying child and another kid possesses Fredbear. I think that is true, Blaze. I'm coming up to that bit in a second, and I'll tell you why I think that, and it's right here. This whole picture right here lets you know exactly, this picture right here, this cutscene right here explains exactly how that happened. But anyways, so I think William invents Chica's Party World as a competitor. I'm gonna stop reading chat for a second because you guys keep throwing me away from what I'm trying to say. Builds as a competitor to Fredbear's Family Diner. He makes it bigger and better. He puts in 7 animatronics, all with southern accents to appease the clientele. He makes a whole range of different animals so that kids can have their favorites. They're very basic animatronics, so they don't walk around. They are stuck to a battery pack, so they just stay on their stages to be able to talk to the kids from where they're standing. They might have like hand sewn suits that they wander around in. That's about that people can wear, but there is no wandering animatronics, not like what Henry has. But he's okay. He doesn't need it that much because he also has a ball pit. He also has arcade games. Like, he has all the things that kids want to go and do. So even though Henry has the more advertisementable IP with the characters of Fredbear and Bonnie, William has the better location. With a southern accent, but I realized her voice probably changed due to being possessed. No, not being possessed. Chica's voice gets changed when, as I was about to say, so after a little bit, because he has the better place to go, all the kids want to go to Chica's place, even though they like Fredbear as a character better. They'd rather go to Chica's Party World because it has better entertainment. It has like the whole arcade and the play place and everything else, whereas Fredbear's Family Diner just has like decorations and has like the performers and stuff, but it doesn't have all the workings that Chica's Party Place does. Chica's Party World does, because Chica's Party World is probably like a similar cost but has more to it. So all the kids want to go there. Henry's business starts to fail. He's running out of money. So William acquires Henry's, and they agree to merge the company because William wants Henry as an engineer. Off track, but why does Toy Chica's beak in after she leaves her stage? Oh, beak fall off after she leaves her stage? Probably for this reason specifically. Check this out. Hold on. Hold on. FNAF 2 animatronics. So how does hold on, when she has her where is her she okay, here you go. Here you go. So Chica's beak, right? It's about this long. But it's also as narrow as my hands and only opens up to here. I think her beak falls off because if you look at her face once her beak falls off, so much easier to bite. It's so much easier for her to bite you with her beak off. I think the beak is a hindrance for her to attack you with when it's on. Yeah, I think the Rockstar Chica is a callback to her original thing. So anyways, so William and Henry combine restaurants, right? Or they combine companies. They form one company because William is saving Henry, and they're combining together because of that. William did this to get Henry's engineering skills so he could either A, learn from him, or B, upgrade his own animatronics using Henry's skills, right? So they combine companies, but once they combine, maybe they're even acquired by a investment company, which would make sense, right? And so when they combine their companies, they do product testing, and they learn what everybody already knew, that Fredbear and Bonnie were way more recognizable IPs than the Mediocre Melodies. They were much more preferred characters. So out of Chica and the Mediocre Melodies, Freddy and Bonnie, only Chica survives because Chica does have her own notoriety because she has Chica's Party World to kind of push her popularity up enough that she can stand nearly toe to toe with Fredbear and Bonnie. So they become the core three here. Boom. So now, William, being the smart businessman that he is, this is why he invented Ned Bear to begin with. He knew that Fredbear was such a great IP that he created a generic version of him, basically, to draw in the kids. That whole, I want Fredbear, we have Fredbear at home, picture of Ned Bear to complete the meme. So they get rid of the Mediocre Melodies because they're not product testing well enough for this new rebrand that's coming up. and they decide to go with Fredbear instead. Five Nights at Freddy's Real Life. Oof, that's such a rough game, and it's under so much scrutiny right now. They've paused development on it because of the internet being what it can sometimes be, which is absolutely terrible ass people. The internet is horrible to people sometimes, and everyone should know that, and everyone should be a lot nicer to other people on the internet, especially when it comes to them doing something as cool as inventing an entire fan game for this universe. Anyways, so they all come together, and again, this is just my theory, guys. None of this can be technically true, but all of it could technically be true for as far as we know. Anyways, William and Henry come together because William saves Henry's company, and they form a new company. And again, I don't know if they did or not, but it seems like at some point they gain investors because a board is put together. So it must be like the board of the investment company that acquires them, which they probably did to like expand what's happening, right? So they come together, and I think what happens is they come together in like 82, 83, right? Because in 83 is when the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the first one, the one from FNAF 1, opens in 1983. And this is also where the murders are going to take place, but we'll get to there later. It opens up, and the new face of the company is Freddy Fazbear. Even though, all right, well, it's Fredbear, who has been rebranded to Freddy Fazbear, right? So he's been given a new name, but everybody in the area, the local area, knows who this character is. But not only do they know who this character is, they know who made this character, Henry. So everyone, even though William was actually the successful one, William's the one who had the successful business, Henry has the successful IP, the successful face of the business. So everyone actually thinks that Henry is the one that's been successful, not William. No one's given William his due for being successful. He's being forced into making the better business decision over the decision that feeds better into his ego. And so he decides to agree to the Freddy Fazbear Entertainment moniker, and to have Fredbear, Bonnie, and Chica. Maybe he wasn't fully satisfied with that, and they decided to make a new character that neither of them owned prior, and that's where Foxy the Pirate comes in. And that's also where they get the idea for the TV show, because the TV show is all about Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica convincing Foxy to join the gang. Wait, I feel that Agony is supposed to be the future version of William Afton. Also, if you don't know what the Agony is, look it up. I know what Agony is, which is something it's a resource that's created. There's no proof that Ned Bear is a ripoff of Fredbear. No. Yes, there is. Yes, yeah, there definitely is. Hold on. Check this out. FNAF character encyclopedia. Ned Bear. Ned Bear. Oh, no, not that one. Nope, I want this right here. Here we go. Is it going to show me the page? The inside. Here we go. Hold on. It is one of 20, so I think I get to Ned Bear. There it is, Ned Bear. Ned Bear looks a little familiar. Is it possible he's an imitation of Freddy Fazbear, altered just enough to avoid any copyright issues? But he is wearing a regular tie instead of a bow tie, so obviously completely different. If that isn't Scott Cawthon's way of alluding to the fact that Ned Bear was specifically created to be a ripoff, to be a ripoff of Fredbear when they were competing restaurants, nothing will convince you, because there's never a time when this is almost. It says he is a ripoff of Freddy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Freddy Fazbear, Fredbear, whatever. The point is he was clearly a ripoff. So again, this is an imitation of Freddy Fazbear because he's brown. I think he's pointing out the fact that this is a brown bear and Fredbear was blonde, so this looks more like a ripoff of Freddy Fazbear, who didn't exist at the time, I think. Five Nights at Freddy's Security. Oh, he is in Security Breach. I didn't know he was in Security Breach. I haven't seen him yet. Max gets super dirty in the spam section. I know they do. They got really dirty in like 6 hours time. But yeah, so Freddy Fazbear. It's unlike most of the mediocre, Ned Bear has an entertainment score of more than 4. He has 5, but he also comes with a liability score of 1 because he looks just like Freddy Fazbear. So, don't you hate getting killed by obscure secondary characters? He says when he strikes an Ultimate Custom Night. And yes, we do. In Security Breach, he appears as the star of his own arcade game, Ned Bear the Space Soldier. Fredbear was brown. No, Fredbear was gold. Oh wait, no, Fredbear was brown. Yeah. Still, Freddy Fazbear, same guy. The point is that it's again. He's never going to he's not going to put that directly in here. It's Scott. He's never going. Like, here's the thing, and I hate when, I understand it, and I understand that's the way to go sometimes, unknown cameraman, and that's the way, some people's brain works, and that's what they want to do. But Scott never is direct. He's never going to be direct. He's not going to put in here that he looks like a ripoff of Fredbear, because if he does that, then he really actually sets the time point in which Ned Bear's creation exists. He's not going to say that. Now, he can say Freddy Fazbear, because Freddy Fazbear is Fredbear, is Golden Freddy, is Brown Freddy, is all these other characters. So Freddy Fazbear is like the basic, the bottom level of any of the character ideas. He's Freddy Fazbear. So what Freddy are we talking about? Are we talking about Fredbear Freddy? Are we talking about Golden Freddy? Are we talking about Nightmare Freddy? Are we talking about Glamrock Freddy, Rockstar Freddy, Toy Freddy? There's so many Freddys, but they're all a Freddy Fazbear, just different versions of him. So he looks like he's an imitation of Freddy Fazbear. He's not going to say, just to make it hard for us, he's not going to say he's a ripoff of Fredbear, because that would give us a distinct time period that Ned Bear was created. But also look at his name. His name isn't Neddy Nazbear. His name is Ned Bear, which would be a direct ripoff of Fredbear. So that's my theorizing on it. Scott's not going to come out and directly tell us that it was Fredbear specifically that he's mimicking, just that he's mimicking a Freddy. How Orville Elephant is more expensive than the other mediocre melees? Absolutely, I can tell you why he's more expensive. No thanks. You want to know why he's more expensive? Because he takes more animatronics to move the ears and the trunk. He's heavier. Okay, I get it. Sorry, Plastics. I think Orville's more expensive because he has more weight to him, so the animatronic units have to be stronger. Would be my belief in it, because when things are bigger, they tend to be more expensive, especially when there's machinery involved. Yeah, I think these guys are all created I think they were all created by William Afton to compete with Fredbear and Bonnie. In Ultimate Custom Night reveals the key aspect of this first one. He tells incredibly long, rambling stories with no clear point to them. This makes him the worst character to be jump scared by. You have to listen to his stories in full before you can go back to the main menu. Mr. Hippo also appears in Security Breach in form of a magnet received from the wind-up gifts and in one of the endings. So, and the funny thing is Mr. Hippo, of all the characters, has been a Glamrock character. What is Five Nights at Freddy's Real Life? So Five Nights at Freddy's Real Life is a fan game created to take you through the Five Nights original Five Night games in real time. So they have different versions. They have a 1 hour mode where every hour in the game lasts for 10 minutes. But then they also created a 6 hour mode where every hour in the game is an hour in real life. Hold on. What about Rockstar Chica? Rockstar, she goes the most expensive one out. All electronics. So how come after being created, who created it and why didn't Afton buy it? What do you mean? What do you mean, Rockstar Chica? Oh, are you talking about Simulator? You can't be talking about Simulator. Simulator's post Afton being cooked. Like he can't be the guy. He couldn't buy any of them anyways. He wouldn't be in the purchasing animatronics game anymore. Anyways, so yeah. So William acquires Henry's company and they rebrand their company together to be Fazbear Entertainment, with Freddy Fazbear being their main character now because he's just more marketable. About Funtime Chica, in my opinion, that's probably what it evolved to. I think he never gave up Chica's Party World. That's my thing, is I think he never gives up Chica's Party World, right? I think that's one company, I think that's one restaurant that he just keeps because Chica's one of the main 3 gang, so it can be a sister location also, right? And so I think what it is, and this is my theory on it, it's not, there's no proof, not much proof, it just makes sense to me. Chica Party World, the only other time that we see world used as a restaurant name, FNAF Real Time, yeah, FNAF Real Time, whatever. Are you gonna make a full video about your timeline, or is it too loose to make a video on? I think I will eventually. My problem is that if I ever make a video on these theories, and it is that if I ever make a video on these theories, you guys are going to literally see the entire creation of it, because I do not have free time outside of streaming and working and spending time with my family to work on a video. So if I ever make a video, you guys are going to be privy to the entire process of me recording audio, like recording voice for it, pulling up the evidence points for it, editing it all into a system and everything. So you guys, that'll be streams. Those will be streams, and I'll be like, okay, guys, I'm gonna record. I'm going to talk for a minute, and this time is going to be me talking for the video. You guys will just listen to me talk for like 5 minutes, and then I'll be done, and then we can go back to like the live stream part of it. But you guys will see me do all that stuff if I ever do it. If not, I'll just continue to. I'm slowly trying to make shorts too. I'm using like yeah, I don't have time, so I'm creating a whole new process for you guys to be a part of. So make sure, if you guys haven't subscribe to the channel yet, whoever you are here, if you guys want to see that kind of process happen in the future at some point, make sure you subscribe to the channel or follow me on Twitch, or both, whatever you want to do. Yeah, but like a behind the scenes screen, but you get to see the whole thing. Have you built a dirt house? I've built many dirt houses in Minecraft before. Yes, I have. I am superb at no, I'm not superb, but I'm actually pretty good at building in Minecraft. How was your favorite FNAF theories? So my favorite FNAF theory is this one right here. The one that is encapsulated in this single mini game right here. And this is the one that people either really get behind with me, because I'm one of the few people to think that this is a theory that could be possible, right? I'm one of the few people that believe this. And I'm completely okay with other people not believing it. If you don't want to believe my theory, that's fine. That is how theories work, right? You believe them or you don't, and we're all good here. Oh, Arnold from the Moon. How we doing, Arnold from the Moon? Thank you for the follow over on Twitch. Appreciate it. That puts us at 1,560 followers on Twitch. And we're at like, what, 417 subscribers on YouTube? Doing pretty good so far. 418. You got someone else subscribed today. Thank you for whoever subscribed today. Okay, so my logic on this right here. Hello, William the God. How we doing? Is that just to remind everyone, Scott will never create FNAF IRL because, like he said, I quote, things that are in the lore actually might happen, like murder, stuffing in suits, all those stuff. Yeah, exactly. Hello, I am God. Welcome, God. William the God. How are we doing? So this is my theory on this image right here. That this image encapsulates the entire theory pretty nicely into one still image, and that is this right here is the hair of a child. The hair of the child is the hair of Sammy, Henry's son, Charlie's twin brother, in the suit. Now here's why I love this theory so much, all right? So here's why I thought of this and things started clicking in my head. And for me, when I do theory, and this is a background that I really have to give to people. A lot of my theory designs, or the way I make up theories and stuff, is, what's up, Matt? How we doing, man? The way that I do theory crafting, for me personally, is that I am a narrative person. I look at what is satisfying as a story aspect. I have formal education in script writing, character development, and theater production and design. So I almost had a degree in it, but government caused me to have to leave my last semester of college. Anyways, so I have a formal background in writing stories, basically. I'm in the middle of writing my own book, if you guys are actually interested in checking it out. It's in its rough first draft way, but if you go to my Patreon, which link should be in the description to get to the Patreon, you can read the first 8 chapters for free. I have 8 chapters up for free now at this point, which is like 40 minutes of reading altogether. But anyways, it has nothing to do with FNAF or anything like that. It's my own actual original story, whatever. But neither here nor there. You don't have to actually worry about it. But anyways, my formal background is in narrative creation, not fact creation. So I think of things that click in my head that would make sense narratively for the story, which I think is a good way to do it, in my opinion, because that's what what Scott would probably be doing. He would probably be creating a narrative and then crafting games around the narrative to essentially make it fit, but he would craft the games in a way that he could pivot his story if he needed to, without anyone being like, hey, story clearly was going this direction and you changed it. He could be like, yeah, but if you look at these clues, then blah blah blah. But he never tells you either way. Would the endo head and arm be on the table? So yeah, so this is my theory on this, is that yeah, that's Sammy, Henry's son, the twin brother of Charlie, in the suit, right? But notice how it is. It's just the suit. There's no endoskeleton inside the suit. It's in full suit mode. Actually, it looks like most of the endo has been pulled out of it. It looks like it's just a bare suit. Right? Sammy is in the suit. Sammy is only ever in the body of the suit, right? Cassidy gets locked in to the closet by Michael without realizing it. He sees the body in the suit. William eventually finds him when he goes to check to make sure no one's found Sammy in the suit. William does find Cassidy hiding in the room, and Cassidy probably cries to him and is like, oh, there's the body in the suit, blah, 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 blah. And William probably is like, no, that's not what that is, blah, 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 covers up, and then also gets Cassidy out of there or whatnot. He then goes on to build Cassidy, the very first Lonely Freddy. And this is why I think William probably was an engineer. He probably just wasn't as good of an engineer when it comes to like animatronics as Henry was. I think he was really good at robotics, but robotics don't translate to animatronics as well as you might think. They, if you do theories now, the modern game, you should look Faz Friends for details. Look at Faz Friends? What's Faz Friends? I don't know how much theorizing I'm doing on the modern games just yet. I do have theories that are coming from the modern games. My theory that Henry's family runs Fall Fest, and that's where Henry's engineering skills and love for the animatronics and stuff comes from. What's going on, MCI? Okay, time out on all theorizing and everything else. Just time out. I love this community just on the fucking names just on the fucking names that you guys come out with. Okay, the fact that I have had Glamrock Chica, Glamrock Monty, I've had Vanny, I've had Sun, Moon, Eclipse, William the God, Cassidy Afton, and now MCI, the Missing Children's Incident, all as people who have come to my stream. Fucking love you guys. That is the best part of all of this. It's just Beanie Freddy, like I just get all these fucking crazy ass goddamn usernames from people coming into the chat to talk, and it's just it fucks with me sometimes because I'm like, am I actually talking? Like I know I'm not actually talking to the actual MCI or Vanny. There's Vanny right there being shouted out and comes into existence. Again, if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you guys subscribed. I want nothing more than to be subscribed to by every single character from the FNAF series, because that would definitely put me at nearly 1,000 subscribers all on its own. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Everything's for my own personal gain at the end of the day. I do this because it's really fun. Or in Matthew Patrick's words, psycho friend Fredbear. No, it's psychic. It's not psycho friend Fredbear. It's psychic friend Fredbear. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who you gonna call? Psychic friend Fredbear. But yeah, he's psychic friend Fredbear. I think the Fall Fest is William. No, I don't think so. I do not believe so. I don't think so because if it was William's family, it just doesn't make sense. I think it makes more sense for it to be Henry's family, for it to be Henry's local business that comes out of the Fall Fest, right? I think Henry's family runs Fall Fest, and that's where Henry first becomes an engineer. Thank you, MCI, for the sub. I think that puts us at nearly 420. Might put us at 420. 421. We're past 420. Dum dum dum. Foxy, how we doing? We're friends with someone. William might become friends with him, but William, it feels like William came over from the UK. Like, I think he came over after he was an adult. Yeah, I'm actually in the FNAF lore in the middle of the Balloon Boy FNAF 3 minigame. On the second time you play it in a tiny pixel of the cake that you give to the kids. I love it, Plastics. I love it. I'm glad that you have that. Chica! What's going on, Chica? Springlock 05. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, I got a question. How many Springlocks are in one suit? Hold on. We can almost actually... Hold on. Check this out. So you can almost actually figure that out by this right here. FNAF 5 Springlock... So, a game. The images I want from inside the suit during the mission. Hold on. Minigame? No, not that. No, the actual game. Hold on. Suit. Wait. Let's go videos. Night 4. Oh, it's night 4. Okay.
Ooh, the dreaded night 4. The confusion of whether or not you're in a...
Pause. Full screen. God, why is it so dark? Why is it gotta be so dark? Can we get a brighter playthrough?
Golden Freddy suit or Springtrap
He's
suit
explaining
makes
it, right?
the fact
Hold
that
on.
you have tiny min arenas climbing up your leg into your private parts can be a bit overwhelming. But alas, chronic...
Okay, so not you. We're gonna go to someone else. No offense to that guy. Night 4 walkthrough.
Hey guys,
Can I get-
Ants here.
yeah,
Today
that's
I'm
cool.
going to be
I just
showing
wanna
you
see
how to
the
beat Night
inside.
4 on your threats. I prefer to hold my mouse button time, top left, bottom
Hold on.
left, bottom right, top right, and back to top left again. Don't
6,
double
7,
back for
8. So there's 8 for just your face, for just your head. So let's do this. So let's do some rough mathifications, right? Okay, so let's go do hold on. Spring Bonnie. Spring Bonnie. Let's just look at basic Spring Bonnie. Okay. So if we do a basic Spring Bonnie, you need 8 in the head, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here to keep the head occupied, right? So I would imagine you probably need the same for each portion of your arms. So we're gonna throw 8 into each arm bit. Boom, boom, there, there, and there. So now we have 5 pieces of the body at least that has 8. That puts you at 40 spring locks already. The body probably gonna be twice as advanced. Let's throw, to be fair, 20 into the chest. So 20 into the chest. We have another 40 in the upper. So the whole upper torso is going to be about 60. Let's call 60. 10 in front, 10 in back for the chest plate. And then we got our 40 for the arms and the head. So that's going to put you at, what did I say, 60 so far. Then we have our waist plate here. That's probably going to be 8 also, just like the arms and everything else. So that's going to put us at 68. Then we're going to throw 10 into each thigh because the thigh is going to be a little bit bigger, not as big as the chest, but it's definitely going to be bigger than the arms. So let's throw 10 into each of those. So we're at like 88. Are you having fun yet, Vanny? Yes, I am. 80 there. Let's throw another 10 into each of these leg pieces. So we got 40 here. We got 40 here. That puts us at 80, 100, 108. Feet are probably going to have 4 each because it's probably just 2 and 2 on either side. 108. That's going to put us at 116. So let's round it up roughly to just be safe. About 120 spring locks in a single spring lock suit to keep you. That is an estimation, obviously. Don't take it as canon or as continuity. I'm just saying that seems to be probably the most probable amount. About 120 spring locks in a single suit. I can see that, but that kind of explains why there isn't the traditional band for Pizza Simulator. Henry probably grabbed his band before Fredbear Family Diner and the Mediocre Melodies merged. Yeah, probably, yeah. No wonder why it hurts. Yeah, it's 120 of them, and they're pushing. So in the books, it's described that the spring locks themselves trigger so fast with so much force that they themselves can impale you. By bigger events, right? MCI, yeah, I agree with you. The MCI is overshadowed by bigger events later on. Like the MCI at the end of the original 7, the MCI itself feels like it's just a catalyst to carry the story. I got a question. How many? Oh yeah, that's one that we just did. I dare you at 1K subs to make Springlock Suit as your favorite character. You make Springlock Suit as your favorite character? I mean, I guess I could say that. No dip, Sherlock. Of course, the spring locks impale you. Yes, no. But they spring lock with so much force on their own that they impale you. That's the thing, is that when they release, their release is so strong from the spring being made so tight that they on their own can impale you. But after they impale you, the animatronic parts are then pushed into that laceration. And that's why you bleed out without actually bleeding out. How we doing, Bonnie? Without like externally leaking that much, because they impale your whole body and then fill your body with a robot. But yeah, it is said there is 2 that we know for sure. Yeah, it's the internal bleeding that really gets you. So there is 2 spring locks that we know of the exact location for from the books. And that is that there is one on either side of the neck, inside of the chest. There's one here and here, and these ones are used to not only to keep actually the helmet, and some of the helmet pieces back too. Yeah, to be honest, I can't understand how the spring locks got approved. It's the 80s. If you don't know why they got approved, Action Park. This Action Park story. Here you go. This is Action Park, a water park in Vernon, New Jersey, opened in 1978, is one of the first modern American water parks. The park's founder, Gene Movellini, wanted visitors to be able to control their own throw level with rides like carts, boats, swings, slides that they could operate themselves. However, the park became known for its poor safety record, with at least 6 people dying from ride accidents. That is all you need to know about the late 70s, early 80s, and the safety practices that happened in anywhere. Is the Springlock suit in the novel different than Spring Bonnie? No, it's Spring Bonnie. There are tons of Springlock suits, though, in the books. There is a blue, non-distinct animal character that has a Springlock suit. There is a green animatronic with a Springlock suit, and stuff like there's tons of Springlock suits. My question is, how did the employees survive walking around sensitive in sensitive Iron Maidens for years? That is a good question. I think it's a standard of quality, right? I think they were able to do it for years in the beginning because Henry was the one who crafted them in the beginning, and I think he personally took really good care of them, and so they were no longer dangerous. They weren't dangerous to wear at the time, right? But then after Sammy goes missing, Henry dives into his security work, and he stops. His brain is no longer focusing on the safety of the Springlock suits. Is just a big Springlock suit. Ennard is the amalgamation of all of the fun times. So he definitely can't be a Springlock suit because he's basically nothing but the innards of all the other suits. So he has nothing to do with Springlock suits himself, unfortunately. How we doing, Eclipse? But yeah, thank you guys so much, everyone who's hanging out. Again, if you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure you guys do. I know I keep saying it, but new people keep showing up, so it's definitely something that God just a lot. I think this is also because Henry and William was mostly the only ones who got into the animatronic suits in the first place. Wrong technically if we want to go by FNAF 4, because if that's the case, if they're the only ones to get into the suit, that's Henry. That would be Henry. Oh my God, you're right. Oh wait, no, that can't be right. No, that can't be right. Because look, so here we go. So this is obviously William Afton. All right, so this is purple guy, William Afton. This is coming pretty cut dry. So here's him putting one person in a animatronic suit, but it might actually hold the phone. That Bonnie suit may not be a Springlock Bonnie suit. It might just be a regular Bonnie suit. That would make this guy Henry, though, because Henry was known for wearing, in the books anyways, Henry was known for wearing the golden Freddy suit. So if this is Henry in this suit here, and he found Sammy in the golden Freddy suit, what if Cassidy was afraid of Henry and the animatronics, but he was afraid of Henry too because he thought Henry was the one who put Sammy in the suit? Yeah, Afton killed 7 kids. Put pressure on the Springlocks. Even in good quality can help that. Yeah, no good quality can help that. So in the books, it is explained that William himself has a particular body type that made him well suited for wearing the suit. So yeah, so they can't sweat or breathe or put pressure on the Springlocks. So essentially what it really meant is that, hello guys, what up Gregory, the robot destroyer. Oh, I fucking love it. That is the best name so far. Sorry everybody else. Fucking the best name so far. And second kid with Golden Freddy. So second kid with Golden Freddy. So does that mean you're Cassidy, or do you think you're... That means you're Cassidy. Yeah, that would make you Cassidy. My headcanon is that the green suit in the book was a parrot. I think the green suit in the book is Sweet Frog. It would make sense. It would make sense that when they first combined, before they decided to get rid of the mediocre melodies, that William had Henry better upgrade all of the mediocre melodies. That he upgraded all the mediocre melodies and then got rid of them later. Like, that would make sense for that, right? Also, here's the other reason why I believe that Henry's family is anyone like my profile pic? Just changed it now. I love it. It hasn't changed for us yet, unfortunately. Oh wait, yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. It changed to the lighter color now. I like that. Yeah. What up, Matthew James? But I think that the Fredbear suit is to the right because Fredbear and Spring Bonnie is still on stage. Yeah. So there's yeah. So that's the thing with this, with FNAF 4, is that it really shows that there was only the two characters at the restaurant, because these two right here and these two are right here. So there was at least 4 of them running around at one time. 2 Fredbears and 2 Bonnies. How long have you been doing FNAF stuff? On my stream, about 11 days. But I've been in the FNAF fandom since the games first came out. I was, if I remember correctly, I was one of the first, like, 10,000 people to watch Mark play FNAF 1. Because I watched all of Mark's content back then, so I was in like the first hour or 2 of him putting it up. It may be 1 in the morning, but why not watch some FNAF Theory crafting? Oh yeah, exactly. Jill in the box, exactly. They probably hid the animatronics when the suits was out. Oh, I gotta go. All right, Plastics. I'll see you later, man. Timestamp is 1:20, is an hour and 26 minutes. So if you want to catch the rest of the theorizing on the VOD later today, go for it. If not, that's fine. But that way you know what we're talking about tomorrow when we get going. I might be playing some more Security Breach, or we might be still theory crafting tomorrow too. I'm not sure yet. But oh yeah, this is weird suits alluded to in FNAF 3. So this is another that actually I remember that. I remember hold on, I want to pull up another clip, and this is FNAF 3 phone guy calls. Flash me. You watch Glamrock Chica unused voice lines. I cannot, Beanie, because that's not part of our thing right now. It doesn't help us any. Hold on. We will at some point today or tomorrow, but not right now because I'm trying to listen to something. Here we go. Give me that sweet phone guy.
I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time. We found some on fire. When the place opens, makes out in the corner, but you'll also be a part of the should be authentic. Just it was like an extra between the hall cams and to watch for. It's the ventilation.
Here we go.
For like other employees or something like that.
Oh my god, dude, shut up.
You're not gonna believe this. We see it. Hello.
Here we go.
Welcome to your new career as a performer/entertainer for Freddy's Pizza.
Wait, why did the Fredbear jaw come shut, but the bite of 83? I know it was because of some loose something, but still, why did it have to be the jaw? No. Nothing malfunctioned. That's a common misconception of the bite of 83. Nothing malfunctioned. Okay? Nothing malfunctioned. They just put him in the mouth when it was at its widest, and then it closed. All right, have a good night, man. And then it closed. If he didn't bug Afton, I think if Sammy wouldn't have entered the back room at that specific time of day to bug Afton, that none of this would have ever happened. Sammy is the one that Afton should not have killed, and that's why my theory makes so much sense to me. You know, as the vengeful spirit, he is the one that he should not have killed. He's the one that triggered that sociopathic tendency in William's brain and finally released him from his constant struggle to not do it. You know, to the 83 pick. You mean this one right here? Yeah, the bite of 83 is the animatronic functioning properly. What they did was they were like, go up and give Fredbear a kiss. And when his mouth was at its widest, they shoved his head in. Then they closed it. The guy in the blue mask, that's Bonnie. But what about him tearing up? He's just always crying. I mean, he's just crying. He's just a crying kid. Isn't he the one in Help 1 2? So, okay. So here's my thing, and that's become a common theory because of Matt Pat, and I agree with Matt Pat on a lot of things, and he agrees with some of my theories. He doesn't know that he agrees with my theories, obviously. Let's not get twisted. He has no idea that I exist, but he did in the latest GT theory, in the latest GT, he did say something that I've been saying for a while, and I did say it on stream days before they did, where he was like, maybe William Afton just likes killing kids. And I said that from my first stream about FNAF stuff, like 12, 13 days ago, which was like 4 days before that came out. What do you think Scrap Trap suit is? It's just Springtrap, just burnt and bloodied and slightly rebuilt from old pieces of Golden Freddy. Anyways, imagine if we see Game Theory GT Live said it was just a theory that he doesn't watch you. That he doesn't watch you. I mean, hey, if he says he doesn't watch me, then I know that he watches me. Like, that's the dead giveaway. But I don't care. I don't care if Matt Pat uses my theories. I'm fine with that. If I theorize something enough that Matt Pat ends up using it, I know I'm going to get an email from Matt Pat that says, hey, what do you think about freelancing for the theory team sometime? And I will be like, abso-fucking-lutely. I'm going on vacation this week. Tell me what you want. But no, or go to, or be part of one of the theory discussions, which honestly, that's the goal. That's the dream. That is the dream right now. The dream would be that enough people start watching me theorize that I get invited to a game theory live stream to talk about a bunch of this stuff. Do you think FNAF is going to collab with Fortnite? I don't see why not. Fortnite collabs with literally fucking everybody. Like, they just recently gave BB No Money, like, his own skin and dance and shit. Like, why would they not collab with one of the biggest franchises to come out of indie gaming in the last 20 years? I think it's going to collab more with Roblox and make a super scary game. They might do both. Well, I don't think... So here's the thing. They don't have to collab with Roblox. People already make a bunch of FNAF stuff in Roblox. There's no point in them officially collabing with Roblox when they're already getting pretty much everything they would get out of Roblox for free. And this is my thing that I give out to all creators everywhere of any kind of medium. Trying to stop people from making fan things or using your content in fan or in video format is fucking stupid. Alright, it is fucking stupid. If I decide to play your music in the background while I'm talking about stuff, no one is coming to my video to listen to your music for free. They are coming to my video to watch me, but then they hear your music in the background and they go, hey, this is a fucking bop, and they look up your music and they listen to it in the official capacities that do benefit you. So quit all these music artists being fucking cocks about the fact that people use your music in their videos. Like, it's stupid, alright? It's the same thing with TV show, like reactors who watch movies or TV shows and react to them. Honestly, if I watch someone react to a movie, I know they're cutting parts out, and I know that they're reacting to stuff. They didn't show the whole movie. If I'm gonna go watch the whole movie to see what I actually think about it. But if they tell me it's good, I'm gonna go watch it at some point. Obviously, I'm not gonna watch it through them and be like, well, I'm satisfied with that viewing experience. Like, no, I'm gonna want to go watch it in its fullest. Like, quit being idiots. Anyways, Into the Pit. Into the Pit is going back in time. How? Yes. So that is the thing. So Into the Pit, if you don't know, is the very first Fazbear Frights story. Not the first book. It's literally the first story. You open up the first Fazbear Frights book, and it is the first story that you read. And it is about a kid named Ozzy who goes to this pizza restaurant and that he's at, and he's like exploring behind it because like it's like an impromptu babysitter basically for him because he's old enough to not need a babysitter but not old enough to, anyways. So he's there to burn time basically, and in off to a corner, it's like blocked off, and it's like caution tape and like don't go in here or whatnot. There's a ball pit, and for some reason, the new owners of the restaurant, which used to be a Freddy Fazbear's but isn't anymore, they never got rid of the ball pit for some reason, but they think it's dangerous, and the balls are clearly like covered in like a sticky substance that's probably blood because it is a Freddy Fazbear's, blah blah blah. And for some reason, Ozzy's like, this would be a good idea to get inside this ball pit. And he gets inside the ball pit, and it teleports him through time to 1985 in the midst of a child murder spree, where in this multiverse, in this universe of the Fazbear franchise, Spring Bonnie, William Afton, is just murking some kids in full fucking view of everybody, right? Was just murking some kids, right? And just leaving their bodies all over the pizzeria, causing mass hysteria and chaos and whatever else. And then I can't remember all what happens, but at some point, he goes back in time. Still makes more sense than sea bunnies. We don't talk about sea bunnies, all right? We don't talk about sea bunnies. We don't talk about Fazgoo, all right? We don't talk about those. We don't talk about Fazgoo. We don't talk about Fazgoo. Anyways, buds. So, not Henry. Ozzy goes back to his original time. His dad shows up, and then while his dad's like talking to him or whatever at the ball pit, Spring Bonnie pops out of the ball pit, grabs his dad, wrestles him into the ball pit, and then comes back out of the ball pit. And everybody else in the world besides Ozzy sees Spring Bonnie as his dad. And that's how we will get some beautifully hilarious fucking images of Into the Pit, Bonnie sitting at table. Images. We get, where's that? Come on. Oh, I gotta put Spring Bonnie right. Yeah. This beautiful fucking image right here. Spring Bonnie sitting at the dinner table. Ozzy coming through the door. Just, come sit with me, son. We will have dinner together. Like fucking the best. Absolutely amazing. Oh, Mark playing security breach. Nice. Still my favorite. Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember watching the trailer reaction of Pat watching this trailer, and he's complaining the entire time that he wants to see this image, and then it pops up. He's like, "Oh, there it is! It's one of the iconic Pat reactions. Still not as good as Music Man, but pretty good. But yeah, he has to like go through the rest of like the days of the day and stuff with Spring Bonnie being his dad. And like I think at one point he drives Ozzy to school and drops him off. He's actually like portraying his dad correctly and stuff. He's like, I'm gonna drive you to school. All right, bye, son. Have a good time at school. And he's like, all right, giant murderous rabbit. Thanks or whatnot. But yeah. My problem with this game, or not, I don't know if it's a problem. It depends on what they do with this, because technically now Into the Pit will be a game, will be a Five Nights at Freddy's game, which means, are we going to do the same thing that we've done with the books now, where there's going to be multiple game continuities, right? Or I saw that, Beanie. I'll watch it. So I'll watch it when I'm offline. I don't like going in there and just like looking at stuff. Anyways, is it is it going to, are we creating multiple game continuities like we have book continuities, or is this game technically going to count as another piece of the single game continuity, or are we all wrong and there's already multiple game continuities and game 1 through 7 is its own continuity, and secure and Help Wanted and onwards until Into the Ball Pit, Help Wanted through Help Wanted 2 is another game continuity. It depends on what you want to look at, and no one's is cleanly defined the line. Do we count Steel Wool coming in and working on Five Nights at Freddy's as being a second game continuity, and we no longer have to think of them as one long storyline, and instead we get to count them as parallel multiverses game, and you're gonna rate it as if it was a real game? Oh, like the name of the game, and I'm gonna rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how realistic the title sounds as being an actual Five Nights at Freddy's game. I can roll with that. Or I'm gonna rate the game as if it was a real game. Well, if you make a game, like invent a game, there should be a game called The Super Twist. That would be interesting. Oh, I see what you mean. That is a good, yeah, it's a very good question. It's a question that I don't know if we're ever gonna get the answer to. Do we have 2 game continuities where you and your friends enter a house? Yeah. 2 game continuities, or are we on a single game continuity still? Because in the books, it's clearly defined in the books that the books are multiple continuities. And you talk with walkie-talkies. That sounds like fun. What up, Figure? How we doing? Because that could be the case. That could be the case, guys. There's a Twisted One finding you. Ooh, that would be a fun game. I think that would be a fun game. You'd have to try a good. How about you? Oh, how are you? Doing good, doing good. We're just theorizing, trying to figure some stuff out. Help Glamrock Chica is chasing me. Gregory, jump in the locker. Jump in the locker. The Twisted One can teleport by using sound. No, I think the Twisted One should be able to teleport in the same method that the animatronics teleport in back into your walkie-talkie. No. I think they should teleport in a similar fashion to how they do in in Security Breach, right? I think it should be like there's specific things in the house that if they view your presence, the Twisted One is able to teleport to that thing that saw you. So like a camera or like a tripwire or something of that sense. That should be how the Twisted One teleports around inside the house. Anyways, so this actually Chica's here. Yes, Gregory and Chica are both here. We've had Montgomery Gator. We've had Roxy. I'm getting in a closet. Go for it. Dive in a closet. Absolutely. We've had the second kid in Golden Freddy. We've had Cassidy Afton. We've had William the God. We've had a lot of characters in the chat, and I fucking love it. It's the funniest shit. Gregory the Robot Destroyer is my absolute favorite name so far. Not gonna lie, 10 out of 10 would first chat again. But if you actually read the Twisted One book, you know how to stop them. Tell them how, Striderman. The Twisted One's book, I haven't read the Twisted One book actually. I know they're the Twisted Ones not because they're actually designed that way, but because they're using sound illusion discs to look that way, and they're actually just like this not very scary like see-through animatronic. Dang, you're getting noticed by actual characters. I know, right, Jill? Thank you, I appreciate that. Oh, we've had Sun, Moon, and Eclipse also. We've had Vanessa. Oh no, we've had Vanny. Yeah, kind of like FNAF 4. Yeah. Wait, I need to check cams. Check your cams. Make sure Chica is nowhere around. Why is it that Chica is the animatronic that's searching for you the most in that game? Makes no sense to me, I think. I feel like Roxy or Monty would be way better. Oh, you got I forgot. Last night I cheated the game on accident. I glitched Roxy into the floor at one point, And it made that section of the game so fucking easy. Like, something happened and she just got dug into the floor. And got stuck there and could no longer chase me. It was really funny because if she wouldn't have got stuck in the floor, she would have got me. Characters are yeah, that's right. You can't outrun me. Roxy, there you are. I feel like all of the animatronic characters are just one person using their YouTube using multiple YouTube accounts, and I'm here for it. And it is funny. But I feel like it's just one person with like multiple windows open. But it is what I mean. It sounds good. Hey Roxy, I can steal your eyes. Second kid with Golden Freddy, you can't because you are Cassidy Afton, so there's no way. Oh yeah, we were explaining that though. Hold on. So we were explaining this. So this is Sammy Afton. This is Sammy, Charlie's twin brother and Henry's son, right? First kill of Williams. It's not he's not Chica first. He's not Susie first. He's the first kill that wasn't on purpose by Afton. This is a kill. I think William was in one of his rage modes where he was like super jealous and mad at Henry. Probably he was working in here, and Henry was probably getting some like undeserved praise and attention. Have a good one, Beanie. I gotta go now. All right. Timestamp is 1 hour 46 minutes. If you want to catch the rest of the stream tomorrow, you can. I have a question. What about the guys with the Chica and Freddy mask? Who are they? They're just friends of Mike's. All three of these guys, we have no idea. Oh, we know who this kid is, actually. We do know who this kid is. We've met this kid before. Oh, crap. Hold on. Back. We know who this kid is. He's right... Can I get a better picture? He's right here. He's this kid. He's the big kid that laughs at you for crying all the time. It's the same damn kid. Look at this. Blue jeans, green shirt, brown hair. Blue jeans, green shirt, brown hair, and he's got some arms. He's got that power going on. You know that power. Big arms. Anyways, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2", 240, so I'm a bigger guy myself. But anyways, so we know who that kid is, actually. We've seen that kid. He's the one that laughs at you. Just about to ask if you thought they were the same person. I know, so yeah, it's the same guy. Definitely, it's the exact same art style and everything, haircut and everything. That kid is definitely the kid that laughs at you. We definitely don't know who Chica is. And this, I don't believe, myself personally, unless we're working in multiple continuities, right? Unless we're in multiple continuities, there's a different story. But if we're running one continuous storyline, FNAF 4 all the way through to Ruin, and then Help Wanted 2, this is not the main character from Help Wanted 2. This cannot be who you play as. No pants length? No. He's got full-length pants in this. Oh, well, I guess he's got shorts. No, he's got shorts, yeah. And in this, he has jeans. Yeah, true. It's still the same color scheme, same design details. Even the shoes are the same color. The only difference is, yeah, he put on shorts for this day. Maybe it can help with the lore. I count it. But anyways, there's no way that Bonnie Bro specifically is your main character of Help Wanted 2. I know it's a popular theory. I know a lot of people like it, and some clues like allude to it, but it's physically impossible. In order for Bonnie Bro, right? In order for Bonnie Bro to be Help Wanted 2 character, he would have to be 65 years old in Help Wanted 2. Plain and simple, right? Like, it's impossible. He would have had to be about 52 years old when he had Cassie. Okay? 52 and 65. You are literally a senior citizen in Help Wanted 2 if Bonnie Bro is specifically the main character. Now, my theory would be that Bonnie Bro's son is the main character of Help Wanted 2, and Cassie is his granddaughter, right? And that the Bonnie mask is like a family heirloom, essentially, at this point. I know that he could theoretically be Bonnie Bro, but the chances of him having an 11-year-old while that old... Oh, if she's 11, then he would be 54 when she's born. Hidden Nightmares, it will help with our lore. The Hidden Nightmares? I don't know if I'm going to do that right now, second. But maybe tomorrow or something like that. I'm not trying to look at videos because it's really hard. 12 around that age. Yeah. She'd be 11 or 12. Cassie's like 11, 12, maybe younger. I don't know. She's the same age as Gregory, and Gregory seems to be pretty fucking small. So Gregory is either really young or really small tween or something. Yeah, maybe 12, by the way. Yeah. So he would have to have been like 54 when she was born. And because he'd have to be like 14 here. He'd have to be at least 14 here, maybe even older, possibly 15. And the older he is in this scene, the more unlikely it is that he is the Help Wanted 2 protagonist. Just saying. Age alone, he'd be anywhere between 64 and 70 in that game. And let's be honest, the movements that we do in that game, he ain't no 70. He ain't no 65-year-old, all right? If he is a very fit 65-year-old. Yeah, I took them to young to mid-teen. Yeah, exactly. So he'd be at youngest 13, at oldest 17 in this scene right here. I clock them in at 15, honestly. Personally, myself, I think they're about 15. I think they're like 14, 15, which is the ripe age to be big enough to carry a smaller child, but young enough to be stupid enough to do this to a young child. Like 15 is the ripe age for this kind of bullying of younger children to be acceptable and stupid at the same time. Acceptable and possible. So yeah. Oh no, we can do pixel measurements like MatPad does. So right here, Cassidy is about half the height of this dude in the suit, and Cassidy looks like he would be about 2/3 of the height of them. Just never talk about how dangerous the animatronics were, or are they actually stupid? There is a video. Is Michael Afton's just stupid because of the whole getting scoop thing? Why didn't he dodge the scoop or whatnot? No, I don't think that. I think that they knew. I think they didn't think the animatronics were strong enough to literally crush the skull of a child. I think they didn't know. Yo, what up, Foxy? How we doing, man? But like, yeah, like, bruh, hello. Yeah, I don't think they knew. But this is the thing. He got crushed by the mouth while it was already in animatronic mode. Right? So I don't think it had anything to do with the spring locks. I know dual process theory used this as the spring lock incident that caused them to stop using the suits, but I don't think this is the event. I honestly believe that the event of the hold on, where's that? The event of the spring lock suit is right here. This is the multiple spring lock malfunction incident. I think is right here. I think this is it right here. Right? It wasn't the spring locks that killed him. No. Not the spring locks that killed him. There are no spring locks engaged right now. Yeah, there are no spring locks engaged right here. That's the common misconception on this, that this is not a spring lock incident, because this is in animatronic mode. The spring locks are only engaged to hold back the animatronics so you can wear it as a suit. When it's not in suit mode, the spring locks are not engaged. Yeah, no, that's the regular animatronic function. That's the regular animatronic piston that's opening and closing. That's not spring locks. The spring locks were not engaged right now. Yeah. I don't know what caused the hallucinations in FNAF 4. Maybe FNAF fan, but I have been finding this for the longest. So the theory on this, so it was just performance mode. Yeah, it was in animatronic mode. Freddy Fazbear did not malfunction in this situation, guys. That's the thing. He was performing. Okay? He was in performance mode. He opened his mouth, then closed his mouth like he was singing. The only dangerous part about this animatronic is for some reason it has the jaw strength to crush a skull. But it wasn't a malfunction. Freddy was functioning exactly how he's supposed to here. There was just never any thought that a child's fucking head would be in the middle of his jaw and upper and lower jaw, because they were the animatronics were only ever in, the springlock suits were only ever in animatronic mode while on stage, where a child should not be capable of getting close to the moving jaw while it's in animatronic mode. When they're on the floor, such as here, they're in suit mode, where the jaw stays stationary and doesn't move up and down. There was a room that had FNAF 4. So the theory on the FNAF 4 theory that I go by is that all these mini games, you're watching Cassidy. The gameplay is actually Michael. It was closing and opening mouth and was pressed hard to close his mouth. Yes, exactly. So what happens here is Freddy opens his mouth wide to sing a note and then closes his mouth afterwards. While he's open wide in performance mode, boom, they stick Cassidy inside of his mouth and then goes, and ends the note, boom, crushes Cassidy's head. Just normal animatronic stuff. There was no malfunctions. There was nothing wrong with that Freddy. He just did the thing. And here's where this theory helps with other people's dual spirit theory. If this is Sammy in the suit, notice where the head is. Notice where the head is. If Sammy's in the suit, dies in the suit, possesses the suit, notice where the head is. No head on the suit. Sammy only possesses the suit. But it could be the mouth teeth too. Yeah. The teeth crunch in and start, he starts to mastificate the head. He starts the mastification process of Cassidy's head. He mastificates all over that head. Anyways, and in case you guys don't know, mastification is chewing. You beat the Ruined DLC, right? No, dude, Glamrock Bonnie the bunny. I haven't even finished the regular game yet, and his head is little, yeah, so it crushes easy. Anyways, but notice what happens here. And Crying Child possesses the head of it because look where Cassidy goes. Cassidy goes in the head of the suit, and only the head. Cassidy never, in the entire time that he's being crushed and placed, and he goes into a coma, but all of his agony seeps into the head, never enters the suit, right? He only gets crushed in the head, but not all the way in. But he gets crushed in the head, and he infuses the head of the suit with agony. Later on, Cassidy dies by succumbing to his coma. Either A, he just naturally dies, or B, he stays in a coma so long that brain death is basically inevitable, and they take him off of life support, and he dies anyways. But the point is then he dies, and because he's put all of his agony into the head of this animatronic, that in my theories, the agony is like the glue that puts puts the spirit or the remnant of somebody onto something. So he puts so agony is formed from, severe suffering and punishment. Basically, it's created that way. All of the agony that Cassidy creates in the situation is placed into the head, and then when his soul is released, the remnant, the agony like draws it to it, and his spirit ends up coming back to where he was first injured. As spirits do, they wander until they find their body. He never finds his body, but he does find the agony he left behind, and so he then possesses just the head. And then you're asking, well, why can't he see if he has the head? Because Golden Freddy in suit mode, because by the time he gets to the head, the endo has been pulled out of it again, and it's in full suit mode. It has no endo. He has no animatronic, no endoskeleton to possess. Therefore, he has no eye reticles to take over and have the ability to see. So neither him nor Sammy can see. They can only perceive the world. They know the world around him is there. So why has the endo been taken out? Probably because they don't feel like they can use that, because that suit just murdered a child. They have to decommission that suit. And what's the best way to decommission an animatronic? You take the endoskeleton out of it and probably look for it to see if there was a malfunction. It had to have been, they probably pulled it out to study it, see if any malfunction did happen, because they cannot use it anymore. So they put the suit by itself in the back. The suit was already endoless when Sammy died. So Sammy only possesses the suit. He doesn't possess the endo that was inside of it while it was performing, right? He put the agony into the head, but by the time his soul got to the head, the endo was out of it again. So by the time he possesses it, he only possesses the head of the suit, not of the endo, because there is no endo to possess. So by their powers combined, they are now in suit mode and only suit mode, which means there's no endoskeleton for them to possess, which means there's no optical perception ability for them, and that's why they're blind and incapable of moving, because they don't have an endo to move. They only have a suit to move, and they can't move the suit by itself because it doesn't have the functionality to move. Bam! Anyways, how y'all doing today? But he was just hungry and wanted a snack, right? Yeah, that's what happened. That's what actually happened with Golden Freddy. He was just hungry and he likes nomming on kids. But how do they know who is who? What do you mean? How do they know who is who? They do not know who is who until the FNAF security logbook, survival logbook, becomes in possession of Mike, a character that one of them, actually both of them, would have a strong tie to. Right? If Sammy, so here's where the narrative part of my theory making comes into effect, not my here's a bunch of facts and a bunch of stuff that could run to it. But here's my thought process on this. Sammy and Cassidy would have been friends. They're around the same age, right? They're around the same age without Michael noticing in the first place. He does notice. Michael responds to them. Michael writes in this book too, and he hold on. Let me see. Can I get some page viewing previews? Can I get some previews of it? No. Hold on. Go back. Logbook. Video. Internet archive. Loading viewer. Here we go. Yeah, this book. So employees get free pizza, but he does. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Where's Mike at? Mike doesn't write hardly at all in this. So he draws this stuff. Where are we at? Casual bonkos. Rip my name. So the red ink is Mike. So Mike draws an entire. He draw. One way to find hope in seeming hopeless situations is to fast forward and try peeking into the future. Let's give it a try. What will your life look like in 5 years? Apparently, him dead. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. But look, I know that. What? Hold on. How does the spirit start? Yeah. Do you have dreams? Michael proceeds to draw a nightmare for. Yeah. So he responds to some of the altered text and stuff. So I think he realizes what's going on. He has to also because he gives us some of the clues. Of course they're not going to show it, but he gives us 2 of the clues for finding Cassidy's name in this, right? He gives us 2 of the clues for looking up the names and stuff. So anyways, I can't read that. But yeah. So until he acquires this book, when he acquires this book, they finally find a medium to communicate through. Because after all these years, dabbing Chica's apparently can't. I mean, has to be. Actually, dabbing Bonnie. Oh wait, no, not dabbing Bonnie. Bonnie doing Backpack Kid dance is actually canon now. Into the Pit game trailer. Check this out. Hold on. Yeah, shut up. This is the first. Oh, this is the shorter trailer. Yeah, this is the short. Hold on, I want the longer trailer. Hold on. Ended. Official gameplay trailer. Here, is this the longer one? Oh yeah, here we go. Watch this. Look at him. Or floss. He's flossing. He's literally fucking flossing right there, guys. Did you notice that? He's literally flossing. He's literally flossing. All right. In 1985, Bonnie invented the floss. Don't ask me why. But Bonnie was just fucking flossing right there. Just saying. So we got dabbing Chica and fucking flossing Bonnie. Okay? And have to go through all the animatronics. What year does that take? Wait, gets held back and have to go through all the animatronics. What year does that take place? What do you mean, Foxy? Like him tearing them all apart? That's like 1990. In 1985, a person in Bonnie died. Yes. Yes. Kids are. Oh yeah. Look. Exotic butters. Exotic butters are very canon in this universe, apparently, for some reason. Also, hold on. We had another thing over here. Let me see. Let's go back. Let's see. I'm gonna go back. Okay, no, we can't see it there. We might see it somewhere else. But yeah. He's doing the floss. Let me mute this so you guys. I just want to. Oh, there's something that. Oh, right here. What does this look like to you guys? Because now that I look at, oh, this is definitely baby. Okay, never mind. I see baby. It's definitely baby. This is definitely baby. A dog? No, that's definitely baby. It's not DJ Music Man. That is 100% baby. That is the clown cheeks, the nose, her mouth, her green eyes, her red hair, her little hair ties, and then her pigtails coming off from either side. And that would also be why it says BABY, baby. That's baby. That's Circus Baby. That is a new problem to the canon timeline. If that's Circus Baby, then that means Circus Baby either opened and closed already, or at least Baby herself explained the beginning timeline. Then yeah, it definitely fucks with a lot of shit. Not quite blends in. Yeah, so this definitely looks like the background. Like, this looks like it's just a wall behind her. But yeah, this is definitely Circus Baby, which fucks with our timeline so bad. Because that means Circus Baby as a concept exists. Now, is this Circus Baby's Pizza World? Or is it something else? Does it go... So that's, like, that fucks with us. Like, so does it go for... Well, so here's actually, hold on. It doesn't fuck with the game timeline. It just fucks with some of the events that we're thinking about, right? So it fucks with how old. That's the question. How old is Elizabeth when she gets snagged? This is not after the bite of 87, because we know in the book that this event happened. This exact event that Ozzy is watching is 85. We know that we know for a fact that the event that we are watching right here in this game is 1985. Guaranteed. This is actual fact. This is actually in text, documented. That this is 1985. So is Circus Baby a real concept? Is it already happened? If that is the case and she was 8 when it happened in 1985, that would mean that Circus Baby and so here's the one thing that we have to remember, that she is 8. Okay, we're going to go with she's 8, Foxy, just so you stop. Okay, she was 8. She's old enough. She has to be at least 8, I think. That's a fair age. Put her in the 7-8 category, because she does make very clarified statements, right? She speaks as if she is 7 or 8 years old. She's very clear and defined in the way that she says things. But I thought you made her for me, Daddy. Why can't I play with her? That's an 8-year-old. That's definitely a 7-8-year-old. He sounds like she's 8. Yes. So she's 8. If she's 8 in 1985, that makes her 6 in 83 when we see her room, which would still make her young enough that I guess she would be going maybe to daycare or something like that, instead of being home alone like Cassidy is, who's like 11 or 10 at the time, right? We'll actually make a choice of stopping of 83. I'm just saying we can't. So this is an 85. Again, this event is after the bite of 83, but before the bite of 87. This is happening directly in the middle of the two. But this has to be a different continuity now that I'm thinking about it. This has to be a different continuity. There's no way that this isn't a different continuity. Okay? Because this is the event of him murdering 6 kids in plain sight. It's not a missing children's incident. This is not an MCI that we're seeing in this game. We are seeing a DCI, a dead children incident, but we're not seeing an MCI because in the book, in the story, the Spring Bonnie murders that happen are all through the pizzeria, and they're clearly in public view. People see it, other kids witness it, they run out screaming. No one hear them scream. But how did no one hear them scream? They did. That's why all these kids were running away. The 6 that die are the 6 that didn't make it to the exit in time. I mean, he probably got through 1 or 2 before anyone realized what was happening. Especially if you kind of situation. He's probably going to get through a few of them before anyone realizes what's happening. But this has to be a different game continuity or it fucks everything. They literally fuck everything. If this is the same continuity, they fuck everything. They completely change everything. 87 was an employee. Yes. I don't know if that's what you were confused about. For Foxy. No one here. Oh wait, no. Quick question: would this mean the nightmares are real because William Afton isn't in Spring Bonnie Springtrap? How do we know? We don't know yet. There's nothing that tells us that he's not in the Spring Bonnie suit. In the book, I believe he's in the Spring Bonnie suit still. Yeah, we do. What do you mean we do? What's the proof? Go to the end of the trailer. What do you mean? Oh, because of this? Oh wait, God, I hate when it goes. I want to go frame by frame. Because of that? What about that? What do you mean? What part of this is telling you that this can't be a guy still? Because we can't see farther back past the animatronic mouth to see that? This isn't necessarily proof. I got 2 words for you, my friend. Nightmare gas. There you go. Why would he buy this? I don't know. Hold up, that has to be something with FNAF 4. Yeah. So, okay, so common theory for FNAF 4 is that your mini games, this is Cassidy, but the actual gameplay is Michael. Michael being tortured by William using nightmare gas. The reason that we say this is because of, I know I have it here somewhere still. Oh yeah, here's the other one that people, I think a lot of people don't like. This right here, I think this is actually Fritz's abduction. So it would be canonical, it wouldn't be continuital. So this is the thing that a lot of people don't know. So Scott Cotham goes by a different process than a lot of other people do. All right, he goes by he goes by a two-layered system. Things can be canon, but different continuities is how he puts it. So he has a FNAF multiverse. So he can say that an event is canon, but it doesn't mean that it's directly in that continuity or in that specific timeline. So you have to think of it as a multiverse. It's like the Marvel multiverse, right? Captain America isn't always Captain America. Sometimes it's Captain Carter, you know? They're both canon characters, but in different timelines or different continuities of the same events. So in the games, the murders happen, the murders happen in 1983 or in 85. Like they happen in like 1983, and they're missing children. That Spring Bonnie, who is William Afton, disguised as Spring Bonnie, lures the children individually or as a pair for the final 2 to a back room of the restaurant and then murders them and shoves them into a suit, right? In this new continuity, into the pit continuity, into the pit continuity, however, Spring Bonnie, William Afton in the Spring Bonnie suit goes on just a straight up murder spree in the restaurant in one day, killing 6 children. They're both canon events, but in different timelines of the same multiverse. Could a Five Nights at Freddy's series be made based on the Fazbear Frights and Tales from the Pizzaplex stories be possible? So, like, a single continuity? No, because both the Fazbear Frights books and the Tales from the Pizzaplex stories both feature stories from multiple continuities that all can exist. So some short stories can be their own continuity all on their own, whereas other short stories can all be connected in one continuity, but it's a different continuity than the games or the original 3 books or some of the other stories in some of the other books. Like the Sea Bonnies could be their own personal continuity and no other story is connected to them. It's just a different multiverse timeline. And in some of these continuities, things exist in them that are a parallel to a different process that happens in a different continuity. So Phasgoo, for instance, in one continuity is how you get replicated people that now work for the like the evil animatronic system. Whereas in a different continuity, Phasgoo doesn't exist. Instead, you're kidnapped by William Afton. He murders you and builds a robot replacement of you to put back into the world. And another continuity, to create that same process, the animatronics are just able to swap consciousness with you, which is what happens in the Lonely Freddy story. Like, they're all canon events that happen in the multiverse, but they all have their own timeline or continuity that they exist within. With Spring Bonnie when the FNAF 1 opened. So Spring Bonnie's suit was transferred to the FNAF 1 location when it first opened in 1983. He murders children with the suit, right? Gets Henry arrested for the murders because there was only 2 possible people who could have been using the suit at that time, either Henry or William, and William had an alibi with his son still being in the coma. So police arrested and convicted Henry. So here's the thing. Here's why I believe that storyline very much so, because again, if William is trying to hurt Henry, what better way to do it than to be dressed as one of Henry's characters, right? As one of Henry's characters, so that hurts him in the first place, kills some kids, which is going to hurt Henry in the second place, and then gets Henry arrested for it because William has an alibi. He's spending his nights, or the time periods that the kids are being murdered, he's spending that time with his son in the hospital who's in a coma. So it's like, you don't believe me? Go ask my son. Oh wait, you can't. He's in a coma. But I was there because I'm looking after my son who's in a coma, right? Henry gets arrested because they see someone on cameras in the Golden Bonnie suit luring these kids to the back. So they arrest him because he's the only suspect that makes sense. They try him because back then evidence wasn't as necessary, to be honest. Like, to be honest, if you just look back in the history of our judicial system, the 80s, you didn't need as solid of evidence as you do nowadays. Like, assumptions were easier to get convictions off of. And in the books and in anything that describes Henry, it describes Henry as being very neurotic. He's very into making animatronics, and he's a highly intelligent person who's, even when he's having a conversation with you, you can tell a part of him is still back in his workshop working on animatronics in his head. The 80s were the 80s. So it wouldn't be hard for a prosecutor to put Henry just on the stand to talk about the events and have his personality be the number one piece of evidence. He's weird. He's different. He's out there compared to normal people. And this is, again, the 80s where people judge other people way more harshly for being different. So you put him on the stand and talk to him for a little bit in front of these people, and they're going to go, yeah, he's fucking nuts. He's probably the one who did the murders because he definitely fits the bill in their mind because he's crazy. He's weird. He's different. So they convict him. He goes to prison. Then, in 1987, after 4 years of Henry being in prison, then and only then For some reason, I think it's because I think Elizabeth gets snatched in 87. This is my personal headcanon for this one, guys, because it makes sense to me when you think about things in the aspect of the mind of a serial murder, right? So Henry goes to prison. Henry's been put in prison, right? Cassidy dies, finally succumbs to his coma and dies. And William's upset because his son just died and it was Henry's fault, and he's now back at the restaurant, and Charlie is being bullied by the other kids because her dad is currently in prison for murdering children, right? So she's being picked on even though it has nothing to do with her. William finds her locked out and murders her, but he can't do it in the same way he murders the other children with the Bonnie suit, because that would prove that Henry was innocent. So he just blatantly murders her in the back alley and leaves her body for dead. About how she get killed, but the other kids come and they do not die. What do you mean? He can't do any more murders. He can't. He is a sociopathic serial killer, but he's highly intelligent. So he knew using the Bonnie suit he would get away with it. He would get away with the murders. But now that Henry, any more theories? We gotta play the game theory intro. Ronnie Mask and my friend made a Fredbear mask, so me and my friend are cosplaying William Henry. Dude, that's dope. I like that sludge monster. That's cool, man. Anyways, so thank you for the follow, by the way. I'm assuming you followed. I'm assuming someone followed because my thing went up. Oh, Glamrock Bonnie the Bunny followed. Thank you for that follow, Glamrock Bonnie. I appreciate it. Welcome to the theory side of things. Facts. So he got Henry arrested. Henry was the fall guy for his event. So he can no longer use the Bonnie suit and he can no longer murder. He's okay with that. His main antagonist in his life is now behind bars. He finds Charlie outside of the pizzeria sometime in the near future, being bullied. He murders her too because his son just died, so eye for an eye, even though technically he took the first eye by killing Sammy. But he murders Charlie. Done for a while. Raise your hand for intro. Abi Pasha, how we doing? Hold on. Game theory intro song. Science Blaster. Hold on, let me. Oh, all the MatPat intros from 2011 to 2024. Here we go, just this one. Oh, hold on. Here we go. I'm pretty good, man.
That's the stuff. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, where in just a couple of weeks, I'm gonna be unburdened of Ban.
Anyways, so we played it. You're welcome, guys. I give in to the I have given in to the pressure. Anyways, so here's my canon, my head canon for this is that he's got nothing to do with Remnant right now. I think the entire first 4 years of this timeline from 83 to 87, nothing to do with the Remnant. He doesn't know anything about it. I think, so here's the thing. I think there's nothing, I mean, there's Remnant going on, but not in the way that we think yet. All right? So he kills Sammy at the first Fredbear's Family Diner, right? First one's at Fredbear Family Diner. They shut it down because of Sammy's death and because of Cassidy's injuries. They open up the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It features the puppet. It features the 4 new animatronics because they had to replace the the Golden Freddy had to be replaced. He's murdered a child, whatever. And Golden Bonnie gets put in the back also because it doesn't make sense to have one golden Bonnie and one non. They were already planning on rebranding with the other four, with the four: yellow Chica, blue Bonnie, brown Freddy, and a new Foxy character. They were already working on that, right? So they work on that. They open up the new restaurant. The new restaurant will also have a security puppet, the puppet, also be involved, okay? The puppet runs around, and its main function is to be a security device, but to give an excuse for why it's constantly going around and checking on kids, it also is programmed to bring them toys. But why the toy? I'm trying to kill us if they're no. We're not at the toy animatronics yet. That's the second. That's the second location that opens in 87. We're still in 83, 84, 85 era, right? So in 83 era, they closed down this pizzeria and they open up the new one, right? The new one, because this one's already had one kid go missing, one kid put in a coma. They're trying to get away from that, so they shut it down and they open up the new one. Opinion on the DCI. I believe the DCI does exist. It has to. It's the only way that it really makes sense, honestly. In a timeline phase, the only way it makes sense, there's two different incidences, and I'll explain those in a second. And I'll explain that in a second. God, I'm going to be on here for a while. I meant to be done right about now, but we're in the middle of something. I really need to explain this, so I don't have to wait till tomorrow to do it. Okay, so anyways, so they open up that new location, the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the first one, the FNAF 1 location. Okay, FNAF 1 location. They open it up. 2 in the morning. It's 3 here. Henry creates the puppet as security so that what happened to his son won't happen again, right? So the puppet has two functions. All kids get wristbands, different colored wristbands. I assume it has something to do with what party they're attached to or whatnot. But he gives all the kids wristbands. Those wristbands are attached to the puppet's like sensors or whatnot. So it follows around all those colored bands and makes sure that they're safe. Maybe it's something to do with like red bands go with the red band, like one color band goes with a parent and a kid or something like that. I don't know. But it's some kind of security device and the puppet's involved. To give the excuse for the puppet to constantly be keeping up with the children, its other job is to bring them presents all the time. Right? So while the puppet security phase is happening, its main function is to make sure that kids don't leave the pizzeria with anyone they're not supposed to. He believes that Sammy was kidnapped. And this would make sense. So this is the thing. This would make sense because both in the book and in the movie, a kid is kidnapped by William Afton without the parents knowing it was William Afton who did the kidnapping. Okay? In both the movie and in the original book series, there is a child who is kidnapped by William Afton, and the parents don't know that it was William Afton who did the kidnapping. So in the games, it would make sense too. Right? You guys know in the third book, in the graphic novel, there's Circus Baby that can shapeshift. Yes. But anyways, so because Charlie's oldest version, or not oldest version, but Charlie's next oldest version is turned into Elizabeth / Circus Baby. Anyways, beside the point. So his kid was kidnapped, so he's programmed the puppet to make sure that no kids are kidnapped from the new Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Not to make sure that they're not murdered inside, but made sure that they're not kidnapped and taken out. So, William circumvents that by using the gold Bonnie suit, probably when William's not there, obviously, because William knows that the suit's not supposed to be used anymore. I mean, probably when Henry's not there because William, but they block off the puppet to get out. What do you mean? What do you mean they block off the puppet to get out? Anyways, anyways, so what they do is, God damn it, you made me lose my thought. Wow, that's interesting. So Williams using Spring Bonnie when Henry's not there to lure the children to the back and murder them. I think Susie he pulls from Fruity Maze, obviously. I think Fritz he literally goes and gets from his house. That's what this is. That's what this is. I think Midnight Motorist is him kidnapping Fritz. And I'll explain why in a second. But he goes and he gets Fritz from his house. Then, and I think it's the same day. I think he does Susie, and then later on that night, he goes and gets Fritz. He does 2 kids in one day, right? I think all 4 kids are murdered within a 2-day period. So he does Susie, kills her. Then later on that night, he goes and gets Fritz, murders him too. Then the next day, or possibly the same day even, I don't know, maybe the same day, he goes and he gets Gabriel and Jeremy and murders them at the same time, right? The third day after that's happened, video evidence has been reviewed. They see the Golden Bonnie suit being used. They know only 2 people had access to that suit because it was supposed to be in storage in the back. William claims that he's been with his coma patient son in the hospital. Henry has no good alibi. He's been working in his workshop. No one's there to attest to this. He is arrested. He's tried. He's convicted. He's placed in jail. Right. A couple days later, this happens. And William's in the clear. He knows he's not going to get caught, but he also knows he can't use the suit anymore. Cassidy dies in the hospital to a coma. He kills Charlie a day or 2 later. He does it aggressively. He does it outside in the alley, and he makes sure it looks nothing like the other murders that have happened. So that way they think it's like maybe a mugging or something else happened in the back. But it wasn't anything to do with what had previously been going on in the pizzeria. I mean, it was outside and it was none of the MO of Henry's murders. So Henry stays in jail. And that's that. Sister location, Circus Baby, and all that could happen at some point between 83 when all these murders happened and then in 87. Here's my thing with 87. What I think happens is those murders happen. In the trapped room was the mimic. Maybe thing that resembles the FNAF movie saw in Circus Baby Deadly Kisses, where she opens up all 4 of her halves and saw start coming out of her. Because Circus Baby Deadly Kiss? I don't know what that is. The bullies block off the puppet. Oh, they might. Oh, yeah, they probably do. Yeah, they block off the puppet so that it can't go and get Charlie from the door when Charlie gets. Yeah, they push Charlie out, and the puppet tries to spring into action to stop her from leaving the building without her guardian or whoever's supposed to be watching her. Alessandro Trophy, how you doing? Trophy, how you doing? I think the one in the trapped room was the mimic. No, you mean the blocked off room, the secret room? I do have a theory on the mimic and stuff, but that's a whole different ballgame that I'm not going to get into right now. I think between 83 and 87 is when sister location is first invented, right? I think Circus Baby was originally being created by Henry before he went to jail. I think while he's in jail, William rummages through all of this stuff, especially after he kills Charlie too. All of the Aftons are out of all of Henry's family is out of the picture at this point, and I think he rummages through Henry's stuff and he finds like a nearly completed baby, like an almost fully created baby, and steals her. Right? Steals her, works on her, reverse engineers her so he can see how Henry did it, and then builds the other fun times with the intentions of building a new party world or a new circus world or a new whatever you want to call it, right? Because he had Chica's party world, and now he wants a new restaurant that is specifically his invention. in the trapped room because we can see animatronic feet outside. The ones are the mimicked one. Yeah, could be. It's just me, or I think the streamer can have a chance of speedrunning FNAF 2 or 4 full 20 mode. Me? No, absolutely. I have an anxiety condition that would cause me to literally have a panic attack playing the later nights. I already know this. I've tried it. It's not pretty. It's not a pretty thing to see. But yeah. So I think he starts Sister Location, like builds the underground bunker before he ever even does baby stuff. I think he goes down there. I think what causes FNAF 4 breathing? The animatronics. Oh, that's nice. I think so. The gameplay of FNAF 4 is Michael Afton being experimented on by his dad. Here's the thing. So what I believe happens is that Charlie, so she's wearing the bracelet that is connected to the puppet. The puppet comes out and embraces Charlie in her last moments of death while she's suffering and slowly dying. Dark, right? Agony seeps from Charlie into the puppet. Charlie dies. Her remnant, or her spirit, essentially, because they seem to be just intertwined at this point, seeps into the puppet also. The other spirits haven't really been able to do much with their possession at the moment because they don't know how to possess the endoskeletons or function with them. I think Charlie, because she's wearing the bracelet and already has a direct connection to the puppet, that somehow helps her like infuse her spirit into the puppet and learn to actually control it. That's what I think it is. I think the bracelet is the missing link that we're missing, and that's why the other animatronics the other kids don't fully possess their animatronics until she dies herself, figures out how to do it, and then she like teaches them essentially. Like she can sense that they're there because they're all spirits. They can sense each other. Spirits sense each other. We're just gonna say that's a thing, anyways. Some hand waving has to happen in the storyline no matter what. So she seeps into the puppet and she learns to control it because of her bracelet connecting her to that. Like she was already connected to the puppet in a stronger way than the other kids were to the animatronics that they took over, right? So she seeps into the puppet, she learns how to control it, and then she passes on that knowledge to the other kids, and they learn how to possess their animatronics too, the endoskeletons inside. And that's when Freddy's, like, they start noticing that these animatronics are like withering and all this other stuff, and it causes Freddy's to close down. And I think when it closes down in like 85 or whatnot, it takes a few years off. During those few years, I think it shuts down in like 84 or 85. And that's, are you gonna port Poppy Playtime and a Ban? I don't know if I like them or not, and I don't know if I would ever theorize on them too. Maybe once I finally get bored of FNAF, maybe I'll hop into the lore of Poppy Playtime or Ban or whatever and start doing some theorizing for those also. But anyways, so I think it closes down because those possessions finally take hold and they start getting like not taken care of because everyone's afraid to actually deal with them. So they've been singing the same stupid songs year after year without ever getting a bath. And so they start to deteriorate because no one wants to touch them. Right? At first, no one wants to touch them. Or no one does want to touch them, period. So they start to wither. I think what happens is that he's... Afton's taken enough time. He's reverse engineered Baby and has created the new Funtime animatronics, Ballora, Baby, and Foxy, and all that. And he's planning... He's already got Chica's Party World still going hot or whatnot, rolling in the background. That's what we're going to assume anyways, right? So he's going to do Circus Baby's Party World because the world would connect Chica and Babies and give him some kind of like push off the ground grand opening thing. And I think that the only thing that's weird with this is why would Baby have a claw if he doesn't know about Remnant yet? I think he learns about Remnant at the end of the FNAF 1 location being open. He starts to notice that the animatronics are weird. No one wants to get near them. I think he starts messing with them, and he realizes, I think they don't recognize that he's the murderer because he was in the suit when he killed all of them, except for Charlie, and that's why he doesn't mess with Charlie. He just messes with the 4 regular animatronics. I think he notices that there's something up with them now. They're not acting right. They're doing things on their own, and he's trying to figure out what it is, and it clicks in his head because he's the only person that it would make sense to. He's the only person in the world that knows that there was dead bodies, spirits that could have inhabited these things. Everyone else thinks there's some kind of like weird curse or something going on. He's the only one that knows, hey, there's literally, in a future FNAF game, we will explore Juniors. I don't think Juniors is anything more than a bar. I think Juniors is Fredbear Family Diner redone. I think it's Fredbear Family Diners turned into a bar, is what I think it is. Because it literally, so here's the thing, for book clarification, it does fit the location of the book Fredbear Family Diner. It's off the beaten path. It's far away. It's in the middle of nowhere kind of situation. Like it's literally surrounded by trees and can't be seen anymore. Juniors fits the bill for being Fredbear's Family Diner from the books. Anyways, so before FNAF 1 location closes down for the first time, he realizes that something's going on with these animatronics, and now he wants to, and he knows that the only thing that, now I think Juniors will be something more big than a bar. No, I think it's a bar. I think it's, so here's the thing. So here's the part that I don't think you know about, Alessandro. No offense. I don't know if you know the books. In the first book, the Silver Eyes book, it is literally stated, and there's no reason for it to be stated, but it's literally stated that before it was Fredbear's Family Diner, it was a bar, and then it got turned into Fredbear's Family Diner by Henry. So it's very likely that in the games, it shuts down and is bought and turned back into a bar again. So anyways, back to what I was saying. So he's the only one that knows that there's dead kids in these animatronics. So that's probably why when he opens up Circus Babies, he's like, if I can't do it in the golden suit anymore, that MO is gone because Henry took the fall for me. If I start using a Bonnie suit again to kidnap more kids and murder them to experiment with this, it's not going to work out, right? So instead, what he does is he already has Baby. He reverse engineers Baby to create the other fun times, but then he also rechanges her design. Rechanges her design to be able to capture kids, inflate balloons, and do all this other stuff, right? Make ice cream, whatnot. Ice cream and balloons so she can distract kids, and then a claw to catch them and pull them inside of her. In some of her designs, it looks like she's literally built to murder the kids immediately, whereas other designs, it looks like she's just there to snag them and bring them back. Either way, they're designed to kidnap children when they're all alone. The only thing, and I get that I guess it's just he just doesn't think about it, but what doesn't make sense to me is the fact that he's doing this at locations he owns. He's doing this in places that he owns. But on their very first day open, even though he warned Elizabeth that you are not to ever play with Baby alone, she does it anyways, and she is the first victim of Baby. The FNAF books are not canon. No, they are canon. They're not the same continuity. They are very much canon. The events that happen in any Freddy Fazbear book is canon events that happen in a continuity of the multiverse. A lot of them are mirrored events. They're not exactly the same, but they are events that could happen in a similar fashion, such as instead of a bar being turned into a Fredbear Family Diner, a Fredbear Family Diner gets turned into a bar. See what I'm talking about with that, Alessandro? This is a direct thing from Scott. He directly states that every book, every game, every movie is canon. It's just not always part of the same continuity. So it is an event that does happen in the multiverse of the Freddy Fazbear's multiverse. But it doesn't always mean that that exact same thing happened in that other continuity, that other timeline, if you will. But a similar event could have happened, or mirror events could be in reverse of each other. Stuff like that. Like, there's one story where it says that Lonely Freddy's are a thing. I believe Lonely Freddy's were a thing in the games too. And that we had one following us around in FNAF 4 the entire time, watching us, seeing if we talked to anybody else about what we saw in the back closet. No, he doesn't see. He doesn't see his daughter get kidnapped by Baby. He doesn't learn till afterwards, later, that she has been kidnapped. But it could be different timelines. Parallel can and will be made. Yes, parallels can and will be made. Yes. Like, oh god, now and I'm more confused with the FNAF story than the one with Barry. Yes, FNAF is the hardest fucking thing to theorize with. But it also means that any and all theories could technically be correct. And Scott's also gone on record to say that he will never, ever, ever fully clarify in his own words. He will never be like, hey, you got everything right. He won't do it. He'll be like, hey, that's a really good theory. Or, hey, some of that might be right. He'll never clarify what parts are right, what parts are wrong, and he'll never directly come out. He said in his interview with Daco that he did like 5 years ago, he said, I will never tell someone, even if they get everything completely right, I will never tell anyone. He's like, I will watch the video and I will say to myself, man, someone finally did it. That's it. He won't ever confirm it to anybody, ever. I would love that. Like, I would love to do a theory one time where I'm, like, live streaming a theory, and somehow he watches it, and then he emails me and be like, congratulations, you got the story right. Do not tell anyone. I wouldn't. I swear to God. If I ever got an email from Scott where he was like, you did everything right, that is the story, I wouldn't say anything to anyone. I would never tell anyone. Except for my wife. I would definitely tell my wife. My wife would have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, but I would definitely tell her. Everybody else would never know, though. I would never tell anyone else. And I would just be like, I'm just going to continue on with theories. But all of my theories would still be based off of that timeline that he told me was right. I would continue my theories with that. But to keep it a secret, you take it to the grave. Oh, yes, absolutely. I do not need a 7-foot Freddy showing up at my front door. You know, two can keep a secret when one of them is dead. Me and Scott, we can keep a secret if I'm not here anymore. But no, I would definitely never tell anyone. For sure. That would be one thing I would never do. I would never betray the man's trust. I would just be like, all right, I know it all now. That means I'm getting free Freddy stuff for like the rest of my life. I just want early access to every game, book, and movie. No, actually, I think the only thing I would want, if I got everything right, and he said that I got everything right, the only thing I would ask him for is a spot in one of the movies. I'm trying to explain the FNAF story, this and things, and murdered and children and everything else. But yeah, we will continue this timeline tomorrow, guys. I'm sorry I didn't get to finish it, but I really gotta go. It is now 3:30, and I meant to get off at 3 o'clock. So I love your faces. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I absolutely appreciate everything. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't yet. We are making it very close to that 500 subscriber mark. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys do. If you guys missed any of this theory today, go back tomorrow and watch whatever you didn't see. I appreciate it. Trying to work on getting to that view time and that sub time and all that other stuff. Love your faces. I appreciate you guys showing up and helping me theorize. It makes me feel better when I'm theorizing and I'm saying something and I see people being like, no, like that actually sounds right. Like, it's such a good feeling in your heart. Like, such a good feeling. Right here. Gets me right here. Every time. Right here. So I appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys are amazing.